And just like that, we are live for the first ever Survive and Thrive COVID-19 Celebrity Challenge event. For the next few hours, I'm going to be challenging celebrities to get outside their comfort zone, to find ways to survive and thrive during this pandemic. Look, the reality is all of us are outside of our comfort zones. Our lives have all been flipped upside down for this. And for a lot of people, it's even more challenging. People living with chronic pain, people who are lonely, people who really need help right now. And that's what this is about. And we're asking our celebrities to give it their all tonight to really get outside the comfort zone. And we're going to ask the same of you. We appreciate everybody who's tuning in. We absolutely want to raise awareness. But the other thing we want to do, we want to raise some money to help the Arthritis Foundation help those in pain. And this is unlike anything we've ever faced, but it's giving us an opportunity to help in ways we didn't know possible. Look, arthritis impacts more than 54 million Americans, including people like this guy. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I live with a chronic disease. I live with this chronic pain. Arthritis is the #1 cause of disability in America. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be really trying to help those people impacted by arthritis and obviously impacted by this pandemic. So we've got some awesome people who are coming in. We've got some football players. Rob Gronkowski, who had a little bit of news recently. I think we may get a chance to talk about that. Legarrette, Blount, Brian Urlacher, Hall of Famer. They're going to be competing in a quarantine combine, and I can't wait to see it because you know these guys are going to be competitive. We've got celebrity chef Ming Tsai. I've been friends with this guy on Twitter. He's a genius. He's going to be whipping up a special quarantine cuisine recipe that he's come up with. As somebody who's new into cooking, I'm very excited about it. Gronk he's going to be a big part of this whole event, as is Camille Caustic, who you may recognize from the cover of the SI swimsuit issue. She and Rob, they're good pals. They're going to be having a dance challenge. All of this, everything we're doing tonight, it's to benefit the Arthritis Foundation. It's to help everyone who's living with pain right now. We all are in challenging times, but it does impact some people more than others. Those people in chronic pain, a lot of people for whom the daily activities of life are a challenge in the best of times, they're really being impacted now. So look, we want you to have a good time. We want everybody to have a good time, but we also want to make a difference. So if you're so moved and if you're in a position where you're comfortable right now, maybe you could consider helping others. And the way you can do that is by donating to the Arthritis Foundation. And look, giving is its own reward, but we also know sometimes people like to get some incentives. We have some awesome incentives here that you're going to be given. We got CBD Medical Topics. The CBD Medic is an unbelievable sponsor of this event. Some awesome things, arthritis, aches, and pain creams. We got signed footballs and jerseys by Gronkowski. Those things just became a little more valuable. Tickets to watch his old team play. There are a ton of things, but we want to remind you why we're doing this. We want to remind you about the people who are impacted by arthritis, the people who are helped by the Arthritis Foundation. So let's start off. Let's take a look at this.
Do you believe
I have arthritis?
I thought it was an old person's disease?
Then it happened to me.
I was diagnosed with arthritis when I was 4 years old.
I was 9. I was 2.
30 years old.
I was 4.
I had just turned 50.
I was 16 months old.
Arthritis does not discriminate.
Doesn't matter how old you are,
Who you are, or what you do. I'm a textile designer.
I'm a singer.
I'm a cheerleader.
I'm a soon-to-be mommy.
I was a former Major League Baseball player.
I'm just a kid.
I am one.
I am one.
I am one of 300,000 kids with arthritis.
I am one.
I am one.
I am one of over 50 million Americans affected by the chronic pain of arthritis.
There are more of us out there than you would think.
We are your friends.
Your coworkers.
Grandparents.
We are your kids.
We are the face of arthritis.
I have scleroderma.
Of Sjogren's syndrome.
Polyarticular juvenile idiopathic arthritis.
Osteoporosis.
Lupus. Juvenile rheumatoid arthritis.
It affects people in different ways.
But we all have one thing in common.
Pain.
The worst part of arthritis is the pain and the limitations that it brings to you.
At the age of 25, I had to stop working.
By the age of 12, I had both my hips replaced. I had to go through 8 months of chemotherapy.
I couldn't even pick up my own grandchildren.
A lot of kids teased me when I was younger in school.
It caused me to worry about how I was going to provide for my family.
Some days I can't run or I can't walk.
Sometimes it doesn't allow me to be the mom I want to be.
You have to be strong.
You have to be brave.
You have to believe in yourself.
I believe that someday I'll be pain-free.
I believe in the possibility of a cure.
I believe that even with arthritis, I can still do amazing things with my life.
Awareness is key.
Spread the word.
Tell the world.
We are the face of arthritis.
We believe.
If we stand together,
Fight together.
We will find a cure.
With your commitment, anything is possible.
It's time to believe.
Believe in a cure.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
Do you?
I get chills watching that video. I do believe. We use the C word a lot, cure. There are a lot of different types of arthritis, but that would be something awesome, would be to get that cure. That's a goal. That's what we're doing. Look, I have arthritis. It's been a story I've been proud to tell. And that's what tonight is about. It's about sharing stories. It's about making a difference. And we know with this pandemic, people living with arthritis, the Arthritis Foundation the demand has been unprecedented. People looking for help, people really struggling right now. So that's what tonight is about, helping those people. The reality is 66% of people living with arthritis regularly feel depressed, fearful, or anxious. That's in the best of times. Right now, that's amplified. So this is where you can make a difference. This is where you can donate. But even if you can't, share your stories. This is the viewer challenge. This is what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you, share with me, what's been your greatest challenge during this pandemic? Comment on Facebook on the Arthritis Foundation, right here, where you're watching it. Comment right now. Tell me what your biggest challenge has been. And right now, we got a guy who's faced a lot of challenges in his life, but he's also had some really good news right now. He's going to be with us all night long, and I can't thank him enough for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Gronkowski.
What's up, Matt? How you doing, man?
Buddy, I'm doing better with you. And I can't imagine. Look, we're not even going to dance around this. You had some huge news. I was joking about calling you Boston, Rob. No more. You are now Tampa, Rob. Congratulations, my friend. Talk about this. You're returning to professional football. We've got right here. This was your press quote, but we don't need the quote. We've got the man himself. Rob, talk about this. Your return to professional football. Tell me how this came about.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited actually, and I'm real excited to get back to the game that I love. I love the game of football. I love going out there and playing. And I took off the past season. I retired about a year and a month ago, and I said, since that day that if I ever got the feeling to come back, if I ever had that feeling, that fire feeling inside me to come back and play the game of football, that I would. And I didn't have it all last year or anything. My body needed that rest. And it sure, paid off. That rest sure paid off, man. I feel totally different. The body definitely heals up if you give it what it wants, in nutrient-wise, in treatment-wise.
Well, let me ask you about that, Rob, because you talked about not having the feeling, but it wasn't just the feeling. You had a lot of injuries. I mean, yes. Arms, knees, your back, a lot of injuries. So what changed? Was it just giving your body rest? How did you get back into a condition where you felt you could take the punishment of playing a full season of football?
When you're really beat up, you kind of like lose the joy of whatever you're doing. If you're beat up, and for all these arthritis people, I mean, they don't have that joy of doing the, just the normal basic things that you can do throughout the day. And that's what I was kind of losing, my body was pretty beat up. Just going for a walk, I mean, it's just not joyful if you got aches and pains. So let that all heal. I let my body heal. I gave it what it wanted, and I feel good now, man. I'm super excited to be back to the game. And I'm going to the Tampa Bay, which I'm super excited about. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everything just fell in place for me to come back. And I'm super excited, man. Matt, it's going to be a blast.
Well, we're thrilled to have you here, buddy. But I want to ask, too, what motivated you to take part in this Survive and Thrive Challenging supporting the Arthritis Foundation? I know there are a lot of causes that could use you, Rob, and use your profile. So what made you choose this?
COVID-19 has been an incredibly difficult time for individuals all over the world, man. And this is just a small part in giving back to the community. And I know what it's like to be in chronic pain, like what I was just talking about, all those nagging injuries that I've had throughout my career. And I understand what individuals with arthritis are dealing with. So pain is something you can recover from. Optimism and positivity can help speed up that recovery, Matt. And you know that, man. You got to be optimist. You got to be an optimist. You got to have a positive mindset. That's what it's all about. And then you got to do the right things too. Like motion is lotion. You taught me that one. I've heard you say that one. I love walking and being as physically active as possible to find ways to reduce inflammation in the body. That's what causes a lot of pain. And that's what was in my body while I was playing football was inflammation. Inflammation is no good. No one wants inflammation anywhere in part of your body or in your head or anything. And I am also proud to announce that I am donating, along with CBD Medic, $200,000 towards this important cause, Matt. It's going to be incredible, man. I'm excited about it.
I always liked watching you play, but I've had an opportunity to get to know you. I got to say, I like you more as a person, Rob, and it's this kind of generosity that's awesome. I always laughed about it because I said, Rob, you look like a party. You look like a guy who was just having a good time, but I always said you took care of business, man. And since I've gotten to know you, you've absolutely been doing that. Thank you for that generous donation. But I have to ask the question. When it was coming down, when you were retiring, one of the things that I heard you say was you'd rather retire than play with any quarterback other than the GOAT, Tom Brady. So did you get a call? We know he didn't have anyone. He was playing alone in a park in Tampa. Did Tom Brady get on a phone and call you and said, Gronk, let's do this down in Florida?
When I saw the news yesterday morning that he was in the park by himself and he got thrown out of the park, man, I felt really bad for him. I knew I had to give him a call. I gave him a call yesterday morning. I said, Tom, man, you're getting thrown out of the park and you're by yourself? And he was like, yeah, man, it's tough down here. I go, if I was with you, we would still be out at that park right now. He's like, I know, come on down, man. So I just made a quick couple phone calls and boom, magic like that. Just felt bad for Tom being at the park and getting kicked out. He needed my support. I came and saved him.
Honestly, did he give you a call at any point during this? Did he say, hey, man, I want to play with you?
Yes, definitely. We've talked throughout the couple weeks, man. And something that is something special to rejoin together, especially rejoin down in Tampa. So we've talked about it, and it's just going to be amazing, man. We're just so happy to be back together, because to build chemistry with a quarterback, it takes a lot of work. It takes so much practice. It takes so much time. It's not just chemistry just builds up in one day. You know how many extra practice reps we have done together, extra reps after practice, during practice, to get on the same page. So it's great to have a quarterback that we're on the same page. We know what to expect from each other, and just to have a fresh start down in Tampa. So we're both super excited, man. And I'm excited because it was Tampa Bay for the last 2 weeks, for the last 4 weeks, and now it just changed. It's Gronka Bay, baby.
Gronka Bay, man. I love that. I got to say, I saw him post a video of you two from back in your playoff run on his Instagram, and I liked it. I was going to say it's like Batman and Robin, but it's more like Batman and Superman. Both you guys are studs. So, Rob, I know there are a lot of fans who are probably tuning in, fans of yours from New England, and probably some new fans in Tampa, but people in America, a lot of people loved watching you play. Anything you want to say to them right now?
I want to give a big shout out to my New England fans, actually. For the last, my 9 seasons, my first 9 professional seasons in the NFL, and the New England Patriot fans, they're hands down, the best fans out there. I cannot lie. They're there to support at all times. They've been there throughout every run, every single season, and they've just, shown me so much support throughout my 9 years, man. They just welcomed me with open arms. They loved when I was just being myself. So I just want to give a huge shout out to my New England fans. I love you guys, and New England will always be a home to myself too. And also on top of it, to the New England Patriots organization, I want to give a huge shout out to them. I mean, huge shout out to Coach Bill Belichick and Mr. Kraft. I would not be here in this position if it wasn't for them. You know that? Like, they drafted me in 2010 in the 2nd round and gave me all these opportunities to lead to where I am today. So without them, I would definitely not be where I am. So I just want to give a huge shout out to them too. And a huge thank you to the whole organization in New England for everything that they have done for me, and to all my fans in New England too. And to all my new fans in Tampa Bay, I just want to say I'm excited. I'm excited to bring the heat to the field, and I'm excited for you guys to watch, I would say, the old Gronk, the Gronk that made big plays back in the day. I'm excited to
love
bring it back to the table, Matt.
I love it. You know what's impressive is it seems like you're leaving New England on really good terms, both with your coach and your owner.
There's no reason that we shouldn't, there should be bad blood at all. I gave it my all every single time I was out on the field for the organization, and we've won 3 Super Bowl rings while I was here. Put it that way. That's history right there. New England will always, I'll be a Patriot for life like that. For those 9 years that I was here. So winning 3 Super Bowl rings is just incredible. It's history, and it's always going to be a part of me for my whole life.
Rob, well, listen, I want to pull the curtain back here a little bit and just really say why I appreciate you so much. Aside from the fact of your generous donation, look, the reality is you're big news right now. A lot of people wanted to talk to you, but you'd made this commitment. You made this commitment to be here, and you honored it. It would have been very easy for you. We totally would have understood if other things came up. A lot of people wanted to talk to Rob right now, but you were committed to coming here. Not only that, a $200,000 donation from you and CBD Medic. So listen, we promised we wouldn't go on about the football, but we did want to address it. So we've done it. Rob, I thank you for that. And the other thing is you're giving some unbelievable incentives too.
Hey, football goes along with this activity. It's called Survive and Thrive. And in football, you got to survive out there on the field, and you got to thrive, or else you get booted out of there. So it goes perfect, man.
You're becoming a motivational speaker here too, Rob. I wanted to say, aside from the generous donation, you've also offered, I know you're giving away a CBD Medic shirt you're going to autograph, some signed jerseys, even a crazy Rob Gronkowski experience for people who are willing to donate a big number. We're looking at 50,000, but you said that's going to be a pretty special experience.
Yes, it will be. I'm not really sure the package that's totally going out there. I know it's along the side of some lunch or something.
Airfare, a limo, lunch with you.
But it's going to be a blast, get to eat some lunch. Like you said, the airfare is included. So anyone over the nation wherever you're at, you can win this package. And it's going to be fantastic, man. And this is a great cause, Arthritis Foundation, man. No one wants to be in pain.
I'll tell you what.
I had to take a year off because of pain. And now I'm back, baby. Matt, I'm back. I took care of that pain.
I love it.
Bruised muscles, you rub that CBD medic. You know, on the day you want to train extra hard, then you're good. But pain-free, baby. I'm ready to get back out there and be my old self back on the field, Matt.
Well, we appreciate it. Listen, there's a lot going on tonight. I know your girlfriend, Camille, you guys are together there at home. You're quarantined together. She's an unbelievable SI swimsuit cover woman.
Come on. You want to fight me already?
So what's it been like, though? What's it been like in quarantine with your girlfriend? How are you guys getting along?
Oh, it's been good. And I can't wait for the competitions that
we got some good challenges.
Competitions that we have. So, you know, this is going to spice things up. You know, when you're quarantined with your girlfriend, you need some relationship competitions to spice things up a little bit. So it's going to be a fun night, man. I'm looking forward to it, too.
And we got some of your buddies, Brian Urlacher, Hall of Fame football player, Legarrette, Blount. You guys shared the field together. They're going to be doing a quarantine combine challenge with you. I can't wait for that. And we got, you know, look, people, you can get some of this. Oh, God. Okay, it's blown out. It's CBD medic stuff. You guys were kind enough to send me some. Look, I have rheumatoid arthritis. I'm not like Gronk. I'm still struggling to overcome my pain, but this stuff has been helping me. I appreciate it. But look, I got
a little story for you too.
Talk to me, Rob.
I'm arthritis free, but here's the story. I was getting my physical yesterday, and when you get a physical, you got to, get all your body parts checked out. So we had my knee, so we had to check out my knee, my ACL, MCL surgery. And we did an x-ray yesterday on my whole knee just to look at everything to make sure everything was structured. And the doctor looks at me, he goes, "Man, it's incredible that you have no arthritis at all in your knee. And it looks like
wow."
And I was, it made me happy, man, that, all the hard work and dedication that I've been doing for the last, year or so, just to get away from that scar tissue. It just felt good to hear that, and that, after a major surgery like that there's no arthritis at all. But I do understand what that arthritis acute pain feels like, just from the other injuries and stuff. But I was very happy to hear that I was arthritis free in my knee from after that surgery.
Well, I know the work you put into it. I know you talked about changing your diet and these workouts, and you worked so hard to get back to where you were. And I think that's something that everybody with arthritis knows. It's motion is lotion. And maybe we're not squatting 400 pounds and running sprints. Maybe for us, it's just getting out of bed. Maybe for some people, it's climbing the stairs. But whatever it is, we know the more you move, the better your body often responds long term. But sometimes that can really be a challenge. And that's something, we're talking about challenges tonight. And I kind of feel like you already, I had a challenging question for you, but I felt like you answered it. But I do, again, Rob, when I looked at you, you're bulletproof. Despite the injuries, you felt like you always went headlong into anything. And I kind of felt like you've talked about some points, but I just want to ask you this, man. As someone who's been fearless, whose reputation, whose career depends on being able to withstand the pain, when was it in your life that you felt your weakest?
Oh, all right. I'll give you an example right now, man. It was after the Super Bowl last year, after we won the Super Bowl. Man, I'm getting confused with what Super Bowls they are now. Super Bowl 53, right?
Yeah, the Chiefs won one in between, but whatever.
Won the one last year, but 2 years, two Super Bowls ago, the one we beat the Rams. I took a big hit right to my quad. And let me tell you, man, it was the worst quad contusion I've ever received in my life. I've received a couple in my life and actually missed a couple games before due to them, because my quads are open shot. I'm a big guy. My quads are open shots. And players out there. So, I took a helmet right to it in the game. And let me tell you, man, that thing was painful, man. I felt so weak. I was crying like at night for like the first week because I couldn't even I was sleeping like 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. It was brutal, man. And that's what really set me over the edge, that I needed a break from the game. That was the hit right there that I was like, man, I need a serious break from the game of football. So right there when I had that hit, it took me about 4 to 6 weeks to even start walking normal again. So I would say that was one of the weakest points right there. Even during my surgeries, I knew that like I could bounce back and my positivity was always there. But with that hit, I knew that it kind of sent me down a little bit. And even now, I still have like a little indent from it, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm going to try and get rid of that indent before the season starts this year, which I think I can, but it doesn't really affect me running wise or anything anymore. So that was the point where I was like, dang, like I need a break. I feel weak right now. I'm not surviving that well. So, but now I'm back, baby. That's what matters. How you bounce back. You get knocked down, Matt. You got to bounce back. And that's why I'm going to Tampa, baby.
Rob Balboa giving me a talk. I think, though, that's something that a lot of people with arthritis can relate to, that when you talked about this being different than the surgeries. And I know for me, when arthritis came, when I was impacted, just as I was diagnosed, what it made me realize is I was human and I wasn't invulnerable. And you start to feel your weaknesses and you wonder if you'll ever be able to overcome them. I love that you have, but I know a lot of people with arthritis really struggle with that. And that's why, we're asking you people at home, share with us, just since this pandemic has started, what has been your biggest challenge? And we'd love to hear from you. We're going to be responding to those all night long, but that's what this is about. It's about sharing your stories. It's about reminding everybody you're not alone. We're here. We got Tampa Rob here. And we have a message actually from the CEO of Abacus Health Products. They're the ones who put out CBD Medic. They're one of the big sponsors here. So let's hear from Perry Antleman, the CEO of Abacus Health.
Thank you, Matt. I'm Perry Antleman, CEO of Abacus Health Products. We are the owners and producers of CBD Medic. When we just saw how bad COVID-19 pandemic was becoming, we knew we had to take action to help and give back where we could. We're committed to pain relief, and we know that many people with arthritis use CBD products to relieve their pain. We also understand how crippling arthritis pain can be and realize that social isolation during COVID-19 has disproportionately affected this community. Having to face arthritis pain on a daily basis is challenging enough, but to do it in lockdown is even tougher. We made an executive decision to redirect our marketing budget and marketing team to public service, to do our part and try and make a difference in people's lives, to respond to the Arthritis Foundation's appeal for crisis funding. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Love hearing that from Perry. And that's the reality of this challenge is it's given people a lot of different ways to step up. And that includes corporations, because we realize at the end, these corporations, they're made up of people. Great for Perry Antleman to come out, support with CBD Medic, for Rob to be here. And it's a reminder, we can all make a difference. Doesn't matter how much you can give, whatever you can give. If you can, we'd certainly appreciate it. You can see the ways to donate here. And once again, we're saying thank you. 500. If you donate $500 right now, you'll get a Gronk signed jersey, plus some of the CBD Medic arthritis relief pain ointment. We got 10 of those. So the first 10 people who donate $500, you're getting a Gronk signed jersey. That alone, that's going to be worth a lot more than 500, especially with 3 rings. And this ointment, it's stuff, Rob swears by it. It's amazing. Look, you see it. People with arthritis, they're more vulnerable now than ever during this time. And we've been asking the community, people in the arthritis community, what's been their biggest challenge since this outbreak? One person gave us a response that really stood out. So wanted to share that with you right now.
Hi, my name is Katie Taff, and I've had polyarticular idiopathic juvenile arthritis for the past 19 years. I've had my fair share of challenges and then some recently, but I'm thriving through this unique and certainly challenging time by surrounding myself virtually with my arthritis family, who is always there through the highs and the lows. I'll admit that I have had to navigate some scary moments during this COVID outbreak, as my medical issues have flared, and the hospital is certainly the last place a high-risk individual wants to be. I mean, goodness, weekly infusions are scary enough. But finding the rainbows in the rain by doing my best to stay positive, no matter what medical complications pop up, is certainly how I've been surviving and thriving in the thick of the storm. Stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy.
Positive energy. And look, it was what Rob said too. Sometimes a positive mindset can go a long way. Even if you're hurting on the inside, putting that smile on, sometimes you can convince yourself that's working. Appreciate Katie sharing that. Again, want to hear from all of you. Share us. What has been your challenge during this pandemic, during this lockdown? Share it on the Facebook page. You're there already. Just let us know what's going on. And I want to give a shout out right now. we've had a donation. Barbara Woods donated on behalf of NYC. Thank you. And Deb Constein, both of you already donating. I want to say thank you. We really appreciate it. So we've got another guest right now. She's Rob's better half for sure. She's a world famous model, true star on her social media channels. She's someone who's never not dancing. She's always staying active. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Camille Caustic. Sometimes it doesn't happen immediately, folks. That's what happens on live broadcast. So we'll see. There she is. There's Camille. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Listen, I'm doing great. We can't thank you guys enough for being here. It's been great. So let me ask you, Camille. You're obviously in New England. You and Rob are holed up there. How have you been surviving and thriving during this?
My gosh, you want to know what? We're really taking this time to thrive during this quarantine. You know, I've been doing a lot of interviews and press and talking with a lot of people through social media and stuff. And I realized that the biggest question that I get asked is, how are you staying happy? And I think the greatest thing that I've taken away from all of this, and one of the things that I want to share, is that it's okay to be happy during this time. It is okay. You know, I think about the people every night. I say a prayer for them, and Rob and I right away did everything that we could to start sourcing PPE into places and facilities and hospitals and nursing homes and rehab facilities. And, you know, we were gung-ho and getting involved with this with CBD Medic and the Arthritis Foundation. But don't take this time to feed into fear and anxiety. Take this time to really go inward. For the first time, at least in my existence, is the first time that it almost feels like the world is on pause for most of us. And it's really allowed me to take time to journal and to meditate and to reflect and think about how much goes on in a month, in a week, in a year. And then, you know, I am so thankful for my health that it's like, how can I get involved? How can I learn about things? How can I help raise awareness and use my platform and so on and so forth? So I'm really, really happy to be a part of this. And we're just having fun doing puzzles and taking hikes and even doing simple things like taking a bath and reading a book. Like, we just really, really are enjoying that time to just unwind and decompress.
Well, I think that's been one of the silver linings is this has been a chance for people to slow down, whether they wanted to or not. And sometimes it is about finding those silver linings. And I like that idea of, look, fear is all around us. We're obviously having those feelings. We're feeling sad, but like you said, grab that happiness when you can, find ways to make it. And so you mentioned that. Now I'd heard about this. You and Rob donated a whole bunch of N95 masks. How did this come about?
Yeah. So I actually, right before we knew we were about to come into a pandemic, there wasn't much you can do to prepare. I was actually was in the middle of a project I'd wanted to do for a long time and finally create a merchandise line. But you want to know what? The timing was perfect in the sense that the team that I decided to partner up with, after long process of elimination, it made sense because immediately we both decided that we were going to pause on creating the clothing line at this time and focus towards where the focus needed to be right now. And that was figuring out ways to source to hospitals, figure out how to get PPE in, because that was one thing that the manufacturer that I was working with had relationships with overseas, and in-house in LA creating mask covers. So right away I was like, say no more. I want to get involved. We kind of created this blueprint for the first 2 weeks of this pandemic. I kind of brought that along to Rob, and he was with open arms ready to be a part of it, help fund these masks, and wanted to send them wherever it had to go. So that's how that got started. And we got them right into St. Joseph's Hospital in New Jersey. That was quickly became a COVID patient only hospital, and then Boston Medical Center, because we want to give back to our home state over here right now. So we're already starting to source to Texas and San Francisco and to Connecticut and a lot more places on the way. It's a lot of work, but it is so well worth it when we get to see these masks in their hands and potentially saving lives and their families. And
that's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's awesome to find a way to make a difference. And that's what we're asking people to do tonight, is to try to find ways to make a difference. Share your stories, folks. Donate if you can. But we're also, tonight's about challenges, because we know a lot of people are facing challenges. So Camille, I have a question that I wanted to ask you. You're a dancer. you danced in football. You've done professional dancing. You've been on the cover of the SI swimsuit edition, which is a huge feather in your cap. But you're also big on social media, and we know with social media there can be a lot of positives. There can also be a lot of negatives. So what's it like as someone who's been out there in a swimsuit, when you get some negative comments? How do you handle the body confidence when you know you're out there and the internet has free reign? How do you handle that?
Absolutely. Listen, the mind is a very powerful place. And for those who haven't applied this, it'll sound like some crazy positive affirmation crap. But until you really apply it to your life, see how much it resonates. I really write down my fears. I write down things that frustrate me, whether it's people, whether it's a comment. I really start to dissect, how is this affecting me? Is this more so a reflection of somebody else? This has nothing to do with me. I know who I am. I wake up and go to sleep with myself every day, and I'm already hard enough on myself. I don't need to accept these unwanted, unnecessary opinions of other people. You need to remind yourself constantly that. And then just to not compare yourself to other people. That's really hard, especially in this day and age of social media and technology. Constantly reminding that there's only one you, and that is so powerful. When you recognize that and you understand that everybody isn't going to look the same, everybody isn't going to think the same. There's always going to be someone having to say something, no matter how many good things that you do in your life, or so on and so forth. But I could go on for days. I actually do lectures at universities about this stuff. But those would be the key.
Here's what struck me, Camille. I can see why you and Rob get along. Positive mindset. You guys both have this unbelievable optimistic outlook that isn't accidental. It sounds like that's intentional, that's cultivated. And you guys have been together a lot. How long have you two been together?
We met in 2013, at the end of 2013. And it's been almost a little over 6 years now. And like every relationship, we've had our ons and offs, but it's honestly made us grow stronger. You don't know what you have until it's gone situation. So, but it's been a lot of years. I feel like since the day we kind of locked eyes, he's always kind of like had each other. Years and years. But it's definitely, when people see Rob and I, they're always like, you guys are always so happy and you're confident, whatever else. The good thing about us both having a very similar values is that when one or the other is down, or if I come to him or he sees me crying and he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I read this comment and it really stung me, and it's got me thinking or feeling a certain way. And he'll like shake me up and be like, let me remind you that if I ever lived in the negative comments and the articles and just like the things that people have to say about me that we know aren't true, I wouldn't be a beast, and he's like, you're a beast. You need to remember that you're so much bigger than these thoughts and these fears and these anxieties. And we constantly kind of have to remind each other of them, because it is easy to kind of fall into that black hole of negative comments, because we do value the opinions of others, but we need to remember that those aren't the opinions that we should be valuing.
By the way, you gave me a new affirmation. I'm going to look in the mirror every morning and say, I'm a beast. I am a beast, because I couldn't imagine Boston sports fans being negative here, casting shade on somebody, taking the piss out of them.
Boston got my back. They got my heart. They're good people.
They're great people.
Even with this,
they could cut you. I got a lot of Boston friends. So listen, you guys have been locked down together. We've got a challenge, a lockdown challenge for you two. I can't wait to get that in there. So is Rob around? Do we still have Rob here?
I think so. Let me see. It's so funny. We had to be in the room. Roberto James, come here.
Is he getting on his? He can get on his computer too. Whatever. Get on your computer, Rob. So listen, folks, we're playing this by ear sometimes. But we've got a challenge. We are going to do a challenge here. We're gonna put Camille and Rob head to head. We're going to see who the bigger beast is. We're going to see whose mindset wins out. There he is. So we got Rob and Camille. Are you guys ready to go head to head?
Yes.
Oh, look at him. I got to say, I know folks in Tampa got to be excited for this new hand-eye coordination. All right. So you folks haven't seen this yet. Oh, we've got Rob and Camille going head to head in our first Survive and Thrive challenge of the night.
I'm going to survive and thrive.
a professional dancer. Rob, I know you got game. It's time to find out who has the superior moves in our Survive and Thrive Celebrity Challenge Dance-Off. We've got a special mashup of dance genres put together. Your job is to choreograph and execute the ultimate dance. Good luck.
I already know what Rob did on that one. He's something like...
Okay, so you guys hadn't seen this yet. You guys hadn't seen each other perform. What are your first reactions to that? Camille, I'm going to start with you. What do you think of Rob's moves?
They are classic, as I like to say, Roberto James Gronkowski moves. Like, he moves to the beat of his own drum. I kind of already knew the kind of moves that he was going to pull out when I heard the music. When it was my turn, I knew when he was going to do the little claws probably, and just I knew he was going to go hard on the rock out. The camera couldn't even stand still. I had to follow him all over the room.
Rob, what did you think of Camille's moves?
Camille's moves are always on point, you know. And my moves are legendary. That's the thing. But Camille's moves are always on point. She's always on rhythm. She's always hitting the right beat. She's always got the correct movement, the correct coordination and everything, the correct footwork, the correct handwork, the correct sparkle in her eye, the correct lip movement. Camille is an outstanding dancer, hands down. And we both thrive totally different in the dance world. And my dance moves are actually getting a little bit better because of her. She's teaching me the rhythm. She's teaching me the moves and everything. But I would say it's going to be a tough call this round because both of our moves are legendary in different ways. Camille's moves are like legendary with actual dance moves, and mine are legendary just because they just are. I feel like.
So I want to say people have been commenting real time on Facebook. I'm looking at these. Camille is rocking it. You both did great. No, that's not good. Oh, rolling on the floor laughing at the cat claws. We're going back at this. Wow. A tribute to the Masked Singer. Some of the greatest moves I've ever. Oh, someone said it looked like Rob was having a seizure in real time. I think that's a compliment here.
My one friend tells me that all the time. It looks like you're having a seizure, Rob.
It is. Wow. It is back and forth. I think my 8-year-old son is cracking up. We have someone love the dance off. Camille looks like a flowing gazelle. This is incredible. So we have to determine a winner. And as I look at the public here, people going back and forth, this is so close to call. People saying, listen, Camille is clearly the better dancer is what we're hearing. But I have to say, the verdict is from the audience and from your judge. People, I can't believe this. People are going with the white tiger, Roberto James. You've won the first challenge in improbable fashion.
You won the dance challenge? That's not even fair. I spent my whole life training, and this kid just won the 24/7 belt. On the Masked Singer, like, can I please take the Arthritis Foundation dance challenge belt?
Hey, Camille, I'm never not dancing.
Yeah, you're welcome. From being quarantined with me, honestly, it feels like it's the award also goes to me because I was your teacher at this time.
I gotta attribute the win to Camille because she actually has been teaching me a lot of rhythm, a lot of dance moves. So I would say that has to factor in big time. So thank you, Camille, for helping me win.
I got to be honest. There's a real winner here, and it's us. It's those of us who just got to watch that. That was
that's
spectacular.
True. That's the real winners out there.
Camille, you're an unbelievable dancer. Obviously, your moves are incredible. But Rob, this cat claw, that's got to be a touchdown celebration for your first touchdown. You in the end zone, just clawing like a cat.
Just clawing, and then all of a sudden I just spike it from the claw.
Well, Camille, listen, taking a loss is never easy, Camille, but you're doing it with grace, and that's what we're talking about here. And listen, I love that you guys clearly went all in on this dance challenge. We appreciate it. And we're hoping, folks, if you're inspired by this, maybe you can do your part. Donate if you can. Share this message. Share your challenges that you're going through. All of it makes a difference. Now, we're going to have competition going on. We're going to have more competitions. Rob's going to be partaking in a quarantine combine with Brian Urlacher and Legarrette Blount, and that is unbelievably competitive. Look, we know we wanted to highlight the dancing. We wanted to encourage people to move, but we know for so many people with arthritis, it's a real challenge. 43% of people with arthritis, they either can't walk or they have major difficulty walking for more than 15 minutes. Think about that. 15 minutes is too much for some of these people. So that's why we want to make a difference right now. If you're locked up, if you're not able to go to the store right now, that's why so many people with arthritis are struggling now. That's why we're doing this. So donate if you can. We have another amazing young woman who's been gracious enough to share her story living with arthritis. So let's take a look at this.
In February, I had an infection called sepsis.
Somehow her heart became affected and they called it code blue. I really thought we were going to lose her.
When my body went to fight the infection, it kind of confused my spinal cord as infection. So it went in and attacked my spinal cord.
My sister, who used to just have trouble getting up the stairs or walking long distances, now can't walk at all.
I have what they call paralysis from my belly button down.
It has potential to be irreversible. Very, very serious.
I just want to be hanging out with my friends. I just want to be at school making my dreams come true. But instead, I'm having to learn how to walk again.
We've had to take a time out on her schooling in order to get her better.
So it was tough when August rolled around and everybody was moving into their dorms. And she's living at the Ronald McDonald House with her parents as roommates.
There's not some magic pill out there that you just go to the doctor and take and everything goes away.
I cannot even begin to tell you where I would be without the Arthritis Foundation.
The Arthritis Foundation, they're our constant. It's your community, and it's people that are on the same journey that you are. The programs that they provide and the support, the JA Family Days, the National Conference, the Jingle Bell Run, the Arthritis Walks, those are the things that keep us focused.
Without the foundation, I wouldn't have the hope that I have for my future. Being a champion of yes means knowing your body, listening to your body, and fighting for what you know that you can do, no matter how hard it seems. I believe that I will not only walk again, but I will run the Jingle Bell Run.
For people that live with arthritis, there's a lot of no's in their life, and the word yes is positive, and that's everybody's goals. The goal is to turn those no's into yeses.
All of the research, all of the medications, all of the things that are going into helping people like me would not be available if it wasn't for the Arthritis Foundation.
We can't give up the fight. I believe we're going to get there.
We can't stop now because there's still hope.
Kristen may be the only one taking the medication and seeing doctors every day and in physical therapy every day, but our entire family is fighting.
We all have to keep working together and fighting together because one day we're going to get there, and it's all going to be because of the Arthritis Foundation and their efforts.
The incredible young woman from that video, Kristen McAllister. K-Mac,
Yeah.
how are you doing? Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you. I'm so honored to be here.
So let me ask you, how have you been surviving and thriving during this lockdown?
Well, at the beginning of the quarantine, I was sort of feeling really unproductive, and I decided that, you know what, this is a perfect time to write a book, start putting all of the things that I've been through together and just typing it out. And that's what I've been doing. The first 2 weeks, I was sort of like a lot of Netflix. And then I decided to start writing my book, which I've been wanting to do for a while.
I can relate. I spent the first week playing video games. So what's it been like for you as an arthritis warrior dealing with this pandemic, having arthritis during this? What's that been like?
So you know what? I actually have two things sort of on a unique perspective and a unique of looking at it. When I was sort of scrolling through social media throughout this quarantine, I know that a lot of people are really struggling. And I sort of was like, why am I not struggling with the fact that I'm homebound? And I realized that it's because for the past 5 years, I've been quarantined. So this is sort of like a normal for me because of, this disease that so many of us live with. And then on the other hand, there's been a little extra fear added because, just the other day I was on the phone with my pharmacy, and I was trying to get one of the medications that I take, hydroxychloroquine. And I was asked, "Are you sure you need this?" And it's like, yes, I do, but I understand that we're in a shortage. And so it's just sort of, on one hand, it's sort of normal, but it's made it a lot easier because I feel like all my family's home with me now. And I feel like after this pandemic, there's going to be a lot of people that have a whole lot more compassion for the chronically ill and homebound.
Oh, so well said. And I think that is true, that people living with chronic pain, they have had some training for this. By a lot of times they're quarantined just by being forced to stay home. And
exactly.
We've all been there when you have trouble getting out of bed. So what is the Arthritis Foundation? What's it been like? How have they been there for you during this?
Oh gosh. Well, so in my first Jingle Bell run was in 2011. And I wasn't necessarily new to the journey, but I sort of was new to, my disease had just sort of progressed, and I was just starting to take a lot of the serious medications, and I was experiencing a lot of the isolation that comes with the disease. And that's when I decided that I really needed someone to rally around me and my family. And we made KMAX Crew, which is my Jingle Bell Run team, and the Arthritis Foundation just welcomed me with open arms. And ever since then, they've sort of just been like a second family to me. We all have through the JA days and the Arthritis Foundation conference, we all are like one big happy family. And throughout this pandemic, I would feel totally lost without the social media posts that have given so many facts about the pandemic and how to get through it, especially with the hydroxychloroquine shortage and just different advice. I would be so lost without it right now. Even from the beginning of my journey to now, I would just be so lost without the Arthritis Foundation.
I think that's a great way you described it, as being there. I say it's not the family you were born with. It's not the family you asked for, but it's certainly the family that you needed and that you're glad was there when when that disease hit. So look, on a brighter note, you're writing a book, you're doing all this stuff. I'm like, what are you looking forward to when the lockdown passes?
Well, so I'm sure, as and so many other arthritis warriors and other, chronic illness warriors know, that we're not just isolated from the outside world right now. We're also isolated from our family and who is living with us. Like, if you look at my family room, if on any given day, I'm on one side of the family room and the rest of my family is on another. So simply, I'm excited to hug my family and, not have those extra fears. Living with a disease is fear. There's lots of fears and lots of scary things, but living with a chronic illness during a pandemic, that's a little bit scarier. So I'm also excited that I'm getting a service dog soon. I'm getting a puppy. I'm going to be getting a service dog. Yes. So that'll keep me busy.
Well, K-Mac, listen, as always, we thank you for sharing your stories. For those of you who aren't in the arthritis world, she's kind of a big deal in the arthritis world. We know her and we love her. Thank you for sharing your story. And I do want to say, K-Mac, we've been getting some donations, some incredibly generous donations. There was one here for $500 from David McAllister, your pops.
Oh, thanks, Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy's unbelievable. We want to thank him. Kristen, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Be well.
Thank you, Matt.
So this is it, folks. You're hearing these stories. These are the people who are impacted. Arthritis doesn't just impact the old. It can impact young people. It can impact studly people like this guy. There are a lot of people living with this disease, 54 million Americans. That's why we're asking you, if you can. We know there are a lot of needs. And if you need your money to take care of your family, by all means do that. The Arthritis Foundation is here for you. But if you're in a good position, if you have the ability, I think this is a great cause to support, and you can do it. You can see the links right there. You give $25, you're getting some of this. You're getting some of these CBD medic products. These help get Gronk back into playing football. You give $50,000, you're getting an unbelievable experience with that cat. And as you can see, the dude's a ton of fun. So we're getting some of these viewer comments. I've been asking all of you, share with me on the Facebook page, right where you're watching. Go into the comments, share with me what your biggest challenge has been during this pandemic. We have Sarah Cloud here who said, our biggest struggle is that we're all autoimmune. The struggle of not having therapy and other doctor services is brutal. Tossin not working, and it's been rough. Absolutely, Sarah. For a lot of us who have autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. The medicine I'm on downregulates my immune system. I'm immune compromised, like so many of you, so many people impacted by arthritis. This is a scary time, as K-Mac said. We don't know how it's impacting us, but we know we're probably more vulnerable. And if you didn't have enough to worry about, this is it. So that's why we just are asking if you can. It's a great cause to support, and you see how this money can impact people, how the Arthritis Foundation can impact people, how it can be a family. So please keep sharing your challenges here. And if you can, please donate. It really goes a long way. So listen, we got more guests here. And my next guest, this guy, I love this guy. No stranger to healthy eating. He is a nutritional expert. He's a workout stud. It's Harley Pasternak. So a very warm welcome to our next guest, celebrity trainer Harley Pasternak. Harley, thank you so much for joining us. So first of all, where are you holed up during this quarantine?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm lucky in that my house and my office are about 5 blocks from each other. So I pretend like I'm going to work multiple times a day.
And so how are you coping with this? How are you surviving and thriving in this lockdown?
I know it sounds weird, and I just had this conversation with my parents, but I've never been busier in my life. I think part of it is having a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old at home. So, which has been incredible. I've never had so much quality time with my kids, but
that's awesome.
It's a lot of teaching and PE time. And we're virtually training our clients on FaceTime. So that we've been doing that. And my gym projects are still going forward. So every morning, early morning, I do calls with the Middle East, and it ends up being a busy day.
A busy day. So let me ask you that, because a lot of people, our gyms are closed. Maybe we don't have a great place at home. How is that working, training clients on FaceTime?
First I decided at the beginning of this that everyone, not just my clients, but everyone needs to be healthy and fit during this time. And people started selling expensive memberships to online subscriptions. And so I decided on Instagram every day I put up 2 exercises. I call it a twofer. And 2 different exercises every day, different body parts, no equipment needed. And we've had some great feedback. So that's one thing I've decided to give back. With my clients, we can train them with no equipment. Ideally, I'll send them some dumbbells, some sliders, hip circles, just little accessories. And then we have other clients who have these crazy home gyms that are the size of an Equinox. So for them, it's a lot of fun.
Just keep moving their phone, not getting sweat on it.
Exactly.
So, talk to me about this. We always hear about working out is important, but nutrition is a big part of it too. How are you encouraging people to incorporate good nutritional choices into these difficult times?
One of the biggest problems with our diets is that we don't cook. And you look at populations that cook their own food at home and they have lower incidence of heart disease, diabetes, cancers. So this is really an opportunity for us to use our kitchen, for us to learn how to cook again, for us to brush off those old cooking skills of ours and cook at home. I've got 7 cookbooks I've written that have recipes that take no more than 5 minutes or 5 ingredients. So those are helpful for our clients. And then sugar. We're supposed to have no more than 25 grams of sugar a day. Americans usually get 60 to 70. Now we're getting over 100. We're stress eating. We're eating all the wrong things. So I think people cutting back on their sugar intake is really, really important.
Harley, I feel like you're speaking directly to me with all of this. I will say one of the things I've noticed is for the very first time, I've started cooking for myself. And to reiterate what you just said, and I'm still cooking steaks. I'm not cooking, vegan dishes here. I feel better than I have in such a long time from eating the right things. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm a doctor. I should know this, but what you put into your body does make a difference.
It makes a massive difference. It's like when you hear people who go on vacation to Italy and they said, I had pasta and gelato and I lost weight. Well, you lost weight because you were walking more and you had smaller portions. And
right.
And there's 2 groups of people. There's people right now that are gaining, and I'm reusing the term, they're gaining the COVID-19, literally
right.
gaining the COVID-19. And there's other people that say, I've never been leaner. I mean, this is incredible. Our stress in many ways is lower. People are working less hours or not working at all. And it's time to prioritize the things we do have control over. What time we go to bed, what and how much we eat, and how we move. And I think that's an important thing.
So I think you're actually the perfect person to talk to about this, because a lot of times you probably have people coming to you who aren't in the habit of working out. And one of your jobs or challenges, I imagine, is getting people to adapt to this new routine, this new challenge. So as you see this in this pandemic, this is all of us undergoing a difficult time. What are the techniques you use to get people to adapt to these new circumstances and to not just survive, but to thrive when they're undertaking training or dealing with quarantine?
So there's 5 daily habits that I tell everyone more today than ever that they need to go to bed and say, check off these 5 things I've done. Number 1, move at least 12,000 steps a day. You don't need a treadmill, an elliptical. You don't need to be a marathoner. Get a Fitbit, get whatever you can to keep track of your steps, and try and hit 12,000 steps a day. Get an accountability partner. That's important. Someone who can check in and you can send your steps to them at the end of the day and vice versa. The second is sleep. You got to get at least 7 hours of quality of sleep a night. Do not drink alcohol at night. That destroys your quality of sleep. Let's remove caffeine in the afternoons. Keep it to the mornings. Try not to look at your screens within an hour of sleep time. They play havoc with our quality of sleep. The third is unplug from technology at least 1 hour a day. People are spending record social media time right now. I mean, they're just staring all day, news all day. Unplug, be present, read a book, draw something, talk to a friend, just stop staring at your screen. The fourth is food, protein, fiber, and healthy fats, 3 meals and 2 snacks a day. It's not time for fasting or keto or caveman diets or paleo. And just don't be an idiot. Just eat vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, breakfast, lunch.
There's the motto. Don't be an idiot.
Don't be an idiot.
I've been an idiot a lot.
If your eating plan has something to do with a caveman, a biblical figure, or not eating, no. And last but not least, challenge your muscles. Push something, pull something, lift something, press something for at least 5 minutes a day. And the twofers are a great way to do it.
You know what I love about you, Harley, is I've always loved, I think you're a straight shooter, but hearing you, you're not making magic promises. You're not saying this is the new get rich quick scheme of fitness or diet. It's a lot of common sense stuff that some of us may know, but you need to hear it again and again. And you need to just focus on those simple steps. And you spelled it out well, Harley. And now I sent you a Survive and Thrive challenge because we've challenged you here, but we wanted to really take the gloves off. A challenge about helping people survive and thrive in this new world and keeping our bodies happy. Let's take a look. So Harley, as you know right now, so many people are struggling with their fitness regimens. They just can't execute. They're not going to the gym as much. So your challenge, Harley, is to take one of your awesome, high impact, quick hitting workouts and figure out how to design it so people can do it at home and stay fit during these challenging times. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Harley Pasternak, and I'm honored to be here with the Survive and Thrive Challenge. I'm going to show you a few moves that you can do at home. They help you feel good. They help you look good. You don't need any equipment. And here, stick with me. This is how it is. The first move is really simple. It's a skater lunge. It's also called a curtsy lunge. I'm going to step back and across my body, dropping my back knee behind my leading heels, and then alternate to the other side. I keep going side to side. If you want to lean against the wall for support, if you want to add weights, if you're advanced, do it. That's the first move. The second move is a hamstring toe tap. So I'm going to extend one leg back all the way. You can put your hands against the wall here on your friend's shoulder, as long as they're wearing a mask and 6 feet away. And we're going to have you bring your heel up towards your butt and tap back down. Heel up towards your butt and tap back down. This is a great hamstring movement, muscle at the back of the thigh. The next move we're going to do is a bent over reverse fly, hinging from the hips, my hands dangling straight down, and I'm going to bring my arms up and squeeze my shoulder blades, and I'm working my upper back or my rhomboids. You can use bottles of water, cans of soup, dumbbells, elastic bands to make it more challenging, but I find if you do a lot of reps and really squeeze at the top, you feel the rhomboids or the upper back muscles. And now we're going to go down to the ground, and we're going to do a hip thrust. So, feet shoulder width apart, push your hips up to the ceiling, and bring your hips back down to the ground. This works your glutes, really opens up your hip flexors, helps protect the lower back and the knees, and it's a great butt exercise. These hip thrusts can be made harder by doing a single leg version, or by adding weight, or by putting a hip circle band around your thighs. And last but not least, we're going to turn onto our front, and we're going to do a modified Superman. So just the upper body's coming off the ground, hands equal to where our ears are. Going to come up, hold, and back down. Up, hold, and back down. And the key to this is using those lower back muscles, trying not to swing with momentum, listening to your body. Beginners, try 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Intermediate, 4 sets of 15 repetitions. And advanced, try for 5 to 6 sets of 20 to 25 repetitions.
So there it is. That's the Survive and Thrive Challenge. Harley, you met that very well. I got to say, what I love about you, you're not just giving us advice. You're giving people a reason to give to the Arthritis Foundation. You're donating some things that if people donate, they could get. So tell us what you're very generously offering.
I have arthritis, so I believe me, I want nothing more than for people to find a cure and better treatments. So 20 signed books of mine. Also, we're going to donate some Sweet Kick Reset Kit. So it's a 2-week kit to help you kick sugar. I designed a breath mint that turns you off from wanting sugar. And we know sugar and arthritis do not go well together.
Okay.
So
this is totally unprofessional. Can you make it 21 kits? Because I clearly need that, Harley. Sugar is my kryptonite. I'm trying to be better about this. I've had a blast with you. Harley, are you up for one more challenging question?
Yeah, bring it.
Hold on. I just skipped over something though. You mentioned you have arthritis.
Yeah. Oh,
osteoarthritis in your knees?
Yeah, my lower back. I was a hockey player in my last life, and I have trouble sleeping. I used to have to take a lot of meds to sleep at night. Nerve blocks and anti-inflammatories and all kinds of stuff. But I'm good as long as I'm moving. The second I stop moving, people with arthritis, they know it's terrible.
Motion is lotion. We always say that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did I just clue you into that? Yeah, that's a saying I've heard from the Arthritis Foundation from so many people, and it's something I truly believe. And I wish I practiced it all the time, but the more you move, the better you feel.
Wow, can I use that?
But please,
Okay.
I wish I could say I invented it, but I would love to hear you use it, especially since you're a part of this family, this arthritis family. So
absolutely.
And again, I've known you so long, and it's so awesome though to find this new side of you, Harley. I appreciate you being here. So this is it. One challenging question, and Harley, this one's a doozy. So I know you train a lot of celebrities, Kim Kardashian, Lady Gaga, Kanye West, Gwyneth Paltrow, Rihanna, Robert Downey Jr., you trained Iron Man. So my question for you, and you can interpret this any way you like. You can be diplomatic, but I would love to get an answer. Who's your most challenging celebrity client?
Challenging. Boy, that's a great question. I've been blessed in that these people, their whole existence, their living, their identity is so tied to looking great and being great that they're pretty fantastic. They're really not the people that have been stressful. I fired as clients, and I would hate to mention them by name. I so badly want to, but I can't do that to them.
I love that, though, that in your life, you're in a position where you can say, my life is better without you in it. That you're not beholden.
I've done that to a few people.
But you've worked very hard to get to that point, and I love that you're embracing it. That's awesome. And Harley, you're donating books, you're donating a way to cook sugar, the Sweet Kick Reset?
Yeah, the Sweet Kick Reset. It's a 2-week kit that's going to show up. It's got these plant-based breath mints that it's been 3 years of my life in creating them. You have the breath mint, and you cannot taste or enjoy sugar for up to 2 hours after. And when you do that for a couple weeks, you no longer want sugar. So it's helped me help my arthritis.
Well, we a lot of us talk about, when we talk about inflammatory foods, sugar is the main culprit. Yeah. And like, I want to be honest here with people about the struggles we all face. When quarantine started, I spent the first week in my bed playing video games, eating takeout. And then I just reached a point where I said, this is not sustainable. And it's hard. It's hard sometimes for people to get motivated. And I love you sharing your struggles, your health struggles, and about it's not being perfect. It's about being better. And I really love how you embrace that, Harley.
It's about being better. And it's about finding habits that just take a little bit of the edge off. So cutting back sugar is one, staying active is one, my sleep is another. I'm trying to find look.
Oh, there it is.
Rub this on my lower back before I go to bed at night. It's not a cure. Takes a little bit of the pain off. So when you have 4 or 5 things that take a few percentage of your pain off, it makes it manageable.
I love, because so many people are looking for the quick fix. This idea of do this one thing and your life is better. And what it seems to be is, no, do a lot of little small things. Like you were saying, those 5 things. You do those 5 things, life gets better. It's small, but those changes add up to be big.
Exactly. There's no home runs in arthritis. It's just a bunch of singles.
Harley, what a pleasure this has been. Can't thank you enough for coming on. Find him on Instagram. We'll get our daily twofer at Harley Pasternak. Check him out on Instagram. I'm going to be doing his twofers now. I'm going to be doing his Sweet Kick. I'm a huge fan of Harley, and I'm a bigger fan now knowing he has his struggle. Listen, we're going to have another segment coming up, How to Look Good on Zoom. And I'm about to be joined by, we're going to have Rob Gronkowski and Brian Urlacher doing our quarantine combine here. But right now, I just want to say, if you need another reason to donate to support the Arthritis Foundation, take a look at this video.
Sometimes the small things are the hardest. Everyday steps seem mountain-sized. Feeling alone, left behind, out of touch, out of reach. When dreams are no longer in view, and no echoes throughout the day, giving up seems like the easiest thing to do. But this isn't our fate. Today is a new day, and we have a plan that takes better care of us and gives us a louder voice, brings us closer to a cure, and rallies a community of the brave. We are resolved to conquer, boldly leading the charge, writing our own futures, fighting for what matters. We are in this together. Together, we are the champion of yes.
We are the champions of yes. And the way we do that is with help, with support. And by the way, listen, Harley is giving the Sweet Kick resets. I absolutely want one, but I want to make clear, I'm not taking one. I ordered, Harley. I ordered I'm not taking one, but you guys can get one. If you donate $150, you get the Sweet Kick reset. Remember, we're asking you to give. It's not about what you get. You do get some nice things, but more importantly, you can make a difference. So feel good about that. But it is nice to get something too. And that Sweet Kick is awesome. We appreciate everyone who's donating. Now, we've been asking everybody to share your challenges. We got a few here. Amy McCormick. She said, we're in New York, so having immunocompromised families even more scary. We haven't left the house since March 13th. Thank God for delivery drivers. Absolutely. Jacqueline Faith Yarborough, challenges as a mom, just facing it with these kids. You can see it's a challenging time for all of us, for so many right now. And once again, you can make a difference if you donate. Even if you don't have the ability to, just sharing your stories, that's all we ask. Donate in any way you can. But the money absolutely helps. But listen, we got more coming. We got more action coming up. Harley Pasternak just gave us a workout. Now we got 3 legendary football players squaring up in a combine challenge. Let's take a look. So right now, as part of our Survive and Thrive challenge, we have 2 very special guests that Rob has brought in, football legends, Brian Urlacher and Legarrette Blount. Gentlemen, thank you so much for making the time to join us on this special night.
Thanks for having me.
Man, thank you for having us, man. Appreciate
so, Legarrette,
it.
let me start with you. Where are you holed up, first of all?
Sir?
Where are you staying during this quarantine?
Arizona. I'm in Queen Creek, Arizona, man. I'm just trying to stay safe and, just create as many games and homemade everything as possible to keep everybody occupied.
So is that what you're doing? Because, this is what we're talking about here. How are you surviving? How are you thriving?
Man, we're making up all different kind of water balloon games, and we're doing some dodgeball on the trampoline in the backyard. We get inventive, man. We bobbing for apples in the pool, everything.
You're kidding.
We're doing it all.
Now, Brian, what about you? Where are you holed up?
So I'm right down the street from Legarrette. I'm in Chandler, Arizona.
We got neighbors.
Yeah, we're neighbors for sure. But I'm still playing golf, Legarrette. We got the courses are still open. So I've been playing golf almost every day. Riding my mountain bike in the mountains. Most everything is still open outside here, so we're doing that. But the difference is the kids are home all day, so I got to hurry up and get back home so I can hang out with the kids.
Well, yeah. I love it. What I'm hearing from both of you guys is how important activity is, staying active for you, for your kids. And speaking of that, right now, obviously this is an unprecedented time for sports, not just football, everything going on. What is your take on all this, and how are sports going to come back?
Man, they're definitely keeping it active. That's for sure. With the news that came out today, it's everyone is doing their own version of sport or sporting around the house. It seems like I see people shooting, shooting 3-point contests. Where they line up a whole bunch of ping pong balls. I see people putting up little basketball goals and dunking on each other. And I see a whole bunch of reruns and flashback games on NFL Network and on the NBA TV and stuff like that. That's all the football and all the sports we can get right now, but I'm hoping that it comes back soon.
You caught any games with you in it, Legarrette?
I just watched the Super Bowl, Eagles versus the Patriots.
I watched it too.
So what about Rob? Rob, that was just
that's my ex.
Didn't turn out very good for y'all. Yeah,
come on, Blount. Why'd you have to take us down, man? I could have 4 rings, not 3.
I'm saying though, man. Let's share. We got to share with each other. We fam, so we both got to equal out with. I mean, you might go get you another one, but we good right here with 3 apiece.
All right, I understand. I appreciate that.
You my guy. You my guy.
Yeah, we each other's guys, so yeah, we got to equal it out. I like that.
So I think this is what we expected. We get three legendary NFL players on here. Obviously, the competitive juices are flying. That's why we're excited. We're going to put these guys through a quarantine challenge in a little bit. Clearly, they've got some pent-up competitive juices to let out. So, Brian, we're talking, though, this is about for the people at home. A lot of them may not be able to get out there. We're talking about the challenges you're facing. Brian, I just want to give you a challenging question because I had a chance to talk with you. You played for Chicago. You were a linebacker. Known as tough as nails. Absolutely. Your eyes when you were on the field were insane. But let me ask you this, man. Is there anything you're afraid of?
Well, during these times, man, it's like someone in my family getting sick, or most important, my kids. If something was happening to them right now with this stuff, it's scary because this is all unknown. No one really knows what's going on, what's going to happen, what the timetable is on any of this stuff. There's all speculation and everything. But for me, it's trying to keep my kids safe during this time right now. It's just scary. We're trying to keep them locked in as much as we can. It's tough, man, because they want to get out and do stuff. So it's hard to keep them away from their friends and just kind of honed in. But yeah, the kids thing really scares me a lot, and my family trying to stay safe during all this time.
I'm
just
sure
to be selfish, I guess.
Yeah, well, every parent, I'm sure, has that fear. Legarrette, you've been talking about all the things you're doing to keep your kids active, but let me ask you this: it's not just about the kids. For you, what's been your guilty pleasure during this quarantine? What's been the thing that just offered you comfort that you wouldn't want these guys to know about, but you're going to confess here now?
I would honestly say I've been able to use this as a way to binge game.
Really?
Yeah.
Which game, Legarrette?
2K and Apex Legends. Those are the two that I play the most. I got me a couple players created on there. Running 2K hooked me up. Appreciate that. And Apex Legends. Those are the two games I play. I mean, I game, probably a couple more hours a day than I would. That only put me at about 4 or 5. But
only 4 or 5 hours a day.
Hey, but that's my break. You see, I'm down here. I'm down here in my little basement area, so I could just, after we get done with the homework and all of that stuff, I get me a little getaway time. That's my guilty pleasure right there.
I think that's one of the things we're hearing a lot too is making time to take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not able to take care of the others. Listen, I can't wait to get you guys in this quarantine challenge. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. And a reminder, everybody, they're here. They're supporting the Arthritis Foundation. I hope you'll do the same thing. This is a chance. If you're in a position to make a difference, please do it. Donate generously.
Hey Arthritis Foundation, my name is Cheryl Crow and I have been surviving and thriving by hanging out with this little guy named Teddy. I've been dressing up like Mrs. Frizzle while teaching my 6-year-old homeschool, and I've been practicing my Charleston dance moves. Bye!
So we are back. We teased the quarantine combine challenge, and here it is. We're back with our footballers, Rob Gronkowski, Brian Urlacher, Legarrette, Blount. Gentlemen, are you guys ready to compete?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
With the competitive juices. So
I'm
here's
ready.
the deal. I asked all of you guys to bring a dress shirt and a couple pairs of socks. So you can put the dress shirt on right now. Just leave it unbuttoned. Because here's what we're going to do. We're not going to put you guys through a 40-yard dash. I know, Brett, we were talking about it. His hamstring might explode. We don't want to do that. We're not going to have you guys bench 225. What we're going to have you do is simulate something that a lot of people with arthritis really struggle with, and that is buttoning up a shirt. Now, it sounds simple enough, but the challenge here is, this is why I asked you to bring those pairs of socks. You're going to put 2 pairs of socks, a pair on each hand. And that's going to simulate what it's like for people with arthritis. People like me, our grip ain't what it used to be. Doing these dexterous moves can be a real challenge. But we're going to see, we know you guys are exceptional at overcoming challenges. And that's what this is about. That's what this is all about, is reminding people, no matter how tough it is, we can overcome anything. Legarrette's got his shirt on. Rob's getting his socks on, good long socks. Brian Urlacher going with the black socks. It's a dressy man there, Urlacher.
How many pairs of socks we putting on?
You got 2 pairs? So put.
I got 3 if we need 3.
You guys got 3. We can do 3.
Oh, man.
Let's do 2. I thought Urlacher got 2.
Oh, you got 2. Okay, we'll go with 2 pairs of socks.
Let's do 2.
2 works for me.
2 pairs of socks.
Okay, let's hold up your hands, boys. We got to see what we're working with. Hold up those hands.
Hold on, put on my other pair of socks.
You're locked and loaded. And Legarrette, points for going. I like that color rush. The red.
You know what I'm saying?
The red and black. Those
black and red.
Those would be that colors of that football team down in Tampa, if anyone's keeping track. Brian, some good socks. Brian Urlacher points for. He's got fashionable striped socks, man. He is
dress socks are thin.
Oh, that's strategy right there.
The system.
All right, gentlemen, hands up, shirts unbuttoned. We're gonna have the clock going. We're gonna see who can get their shirt. All those buttons buttoned first.
Let me stand up too now.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, now. Let me get set here.
All right. On my mark, gentlemen. Button those shirts and good luck. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Start buttoning. You can see Rob going with the middle button there. Keep in mind, got to have all those buttons buttoned up. Rob, clearly a casual guy, not used to buttoning his shirt.
The top button?
Yeah.
Look at this. Urlacher, maybe a wise move with those thin socks, but still not able to get that first button
got
going.
one, Matt. I just got one.
Rob, and apparently he's been doing chest since he bought that shirt. He's getting bigger.
Oh, man, this is impossible.
That is correct. Right. Thank you. I'm glad you noticed that, Matt. I've been working.
How many do you have, Rob? Just, oh, my
these.
gosh. Look how tight your shirt is.
Yeah, I just been working out lately, man.
Yeah.
Diesel. I'm looking Jack City and Blount.
That's somebody else's shirt.
Through the computer.
Small shirt, dude.
Well, he's talking a big game, but he's forgetting to button his shirt. Urlacher, very focused.
That's what I do.
That's somebody else's shirt.
Crap.
This is a reminder, though. You're seeing how these guys, some of the most athletic guys in the world, but when your hands aren't working, everything becomes a little more difficult. I think a lot of us.
How many of you guys got done already?
Brian's got 3.
I'm almost done.
Yeah, right. Who's helping you?
He's got 1 done, Brian.
Okay.
I think Brian's in the lead.
This is hard, man.
There we go.
Oh.
Man, this is real.
Guys,
Boy, you can start
I got to say, Urlacher, he's streaking like Legarrette down the sidelines. He's getting close to putting this ball in the end zone. But there are points for second place.
I think you got some less buttons than we
got to do a top button too, Matt?
Oh, my goodness.
Now,
if you can do it, Urlacher. If not, just pop your collar and consider it done.
Yeah, I can't do the top. I got no chance.
Brian Urlacher, our champion in this first one, but keep in mind, points for second place. Brian, you can take a look at this.
Yo, hey, Matt, this shirt is too tight, man.
He's got 1.
Rob, I don't want excuses. I want buttons.
Come on, Gronk.
Ooh, this hurt. Let's make it. This a whole hand workout.
You got 1? You got 1
2 coming on loose.
Front hand's too big.
You look like you're wearing cooking mitts, Gronkowski.
I couldn't even put these buttons together with no socks on.
That's me too. I had a hard time. Can I take it off now, Matt? I'm sweating.
Yeah, Brian, you could take the socks off and you could take that shirt off, man. You're the champion of this first one.
Here go my
That's stressful. We got 2.
Well,
hey, I got athletic socks on. Drop fit. Look.
You gotta prepare better, Legarrette.
I know how these socks is.
You guys realize Brian put his shirt on and is going to take it off before you guys get 3 buttons.
No, I got it. Hold on, slow down, Brian.
Brian had thin socks.
I'll tell you what, you guys are tied at 2 buttons. Rob, Legarrette, whichever one of you gets that next button will get second place.
Get it done.
All right.
Legarrette, 3 buttons. He took second. Rob.
Hold on.
Legarrette closed it out. He took second place. So, boys.
It don't matter, y'all. Try
Well, my dog skipped about 2-3 buttons.
Brian, I want to ask you, man, you've done a lot of challenging things in your life. How hard was it putting that shirt on with those socks?
I can't do it even when I don't have socks on, so it's hard. You can't get through the other hole. You can't find it. It's hard. I don't know. I couldn't do that every day. It'd take me 3 hours to get dressed.
Brian, you took the title. Legarrette, a very game second place. Rob, you shamed us all coming in. But I'll tell you something. You look good in a tight shirt. Boys, I want to say, though, I appreciate you guys doing this and highlighting the struggles that a lot of people with arthritis face. And that's what this is about, man. We see you guys. We know it can be challenging. Even these big studs, they have pains. They have aches as well. And we just want to let you know we're with you. And we also want to remind you, hey, this is a chance where you guys can donate. We know how debilitating arthritis can be. You can't do the simple daily things. You can't even button up your shirt sometimes. And you never want to take that for granted. So wherever you are, let's be happy with it, what you got, and let's push for more. Let's lead that future. Let's lead to more people being able to say yes to life. So we got more quarantine challenge coming up. Keep in mind, Brian Urlacher right now in first place, Legarrette in second, and Rob Gronkowski, he's drinking wine and enjoying himself. Keep donating. We got more to come. We have Andrew Fitzsimmons coming up. He's a celebrity hairstylist, and Lord knows I need some help. We'll see what he's got for us. Stick around. More quarantine challenge coming. Legarrette, you're looking sharp, man. More when we come back. Hey, Andrew, we are a few weeks into lockdown, and I have to say, we are on the verge of declaring a national hair emergency. Nobody's able to go to their barbers. Most of us have no experience cutting or styling our hair. So we are looking shaggy. We are not looking good. We're resorting to holding up masks to make ourselves look better. So, Andrew, your challenge is to give us some tips on how we can cut or style our hair to make it look presentable so we look ready, groomed for Zoom. Good luck.
Hey everybody, it's celebrity hairstylist Andrew Fitzsimons, and I am so happy to be here supporting the Arthritis Foundation. We have an opportunity to be creative here, so for my people out there who are struggling with how to maintain their hair looking great during lockdown, these are some of my tips. For haircuts, if we could do it ourselves, I feel like a lot of people would, but it's so difficult. So I'd really recommend people holding out. If you do have Zoom meetings, if you do have to look professional and look chic for work, obviously tying your hair up, having like a little bun, you could do a little 2-for-1. You could put a leave-in conditioner, or you could put a conditioning mask in your hair, comb it back into a cute little bun. That way you look cute, you have a cute little hairdo, a little updo, but you're also conditioning your hair. So that's a great tip too. But if you have bangs, it's a whole other situation, because we went into lockdown and they were here and now they're down here. So my advice for bangs, if you have to DIY, cut your own bangs. A lot of us are really used to going to get our hair styled by a hairstylist, or we're used to heat styling our hair every day at home before work. I think it's a really great opportunity to explore heatless styling. A lot of the time people don't want to let their hair dry naturally because they're worried about frizz, so maybe it's time to start incorporating a lot of anti-frizz products into your regimen, especially for styling. It's really important to start with the right products for you. There are great serums, there are great cremes on the market that are specifically for drying your hair naturally and being frizz-free at the end. So that's one way of doing things. And then the other way, there's so many great tutorials out there on YouTube for heat-free hairstyling. So a couple of them are a twist out. So obviously a twist out is taking your hair in sections, taking 2 pieces at a time and twisting them back around on themselves, leaving the hair to dry, and then releasing them, and you have these beautiful curls, heat-free, damage-free. Or if your hair is longer and it isn't as curly naturally, 2 jumbo braids. Start braiding your hair. You can go up as far as you want if you want the wave to be further up your hair, or further down if you want just a nice little beach wave in the ends. Putting in your favorite leave-in conditioner is a great way to go, or an anti-frizz product. Braid your hair, sleep in it overnight. Make sure you have silk pillowcases so you're keeping your hair and your skin looking good. And then taking them out in the morning, putting a little bit of serum through, and you'll have the perfect beachy wave that is heat-free. So you're doing something good for your hair, but you're also styling it. So I really hope that I've risen to the challenge and helped you guys a little bit thrive and survive during our lockdown. And I'm so happy to support the Arthritis Foundation, and please make sure to donate. And a couple of you who donate, a certain amount will actually receive my line of hair products, the Andrew Fitzsimons collection, that's available in Primark. So please donate. It's for such an incredible cause, and let's get through this together, take a couple of tips, and I wish you all the best.
That was awesome. And first of all, let me apologize. I said Fitzsimmons. It's Fitzsimons. Andrew Fitzsimons. That guy, he's great, very generous. As you saw, if you donate, you can get some of his hair care products. Lord knows I need it. And have you ever seen anybody rock a satin pajama top the way he did? The guy was awesome. By the way, leave-in conditioner is a thing. Why has nobody told me about this? Listen, people are donating. I want to say we had a comment on there. Cheryl Crow commented she cut her husband's hair and did it with thumb arthritis. Very proud of you. We have people donating. Once again, you see, if you donate, you can get Andrew Fitzsimon's hair care products. You can get Harley Pasternak Sweet Kick Reset. You can get tickets, pregame passes to a football game in New England, and CBD Medic Arthritis Pain. $2,000 if you donate that. I want to give a shout out to somebody here, Jane Wagner. Thank you, Jane, because she donated not once, she donated twice because she was so impressed with Harley Pasternak. She wanted to try to get his book. So, Jane, I think we can make that happen. We appreciate your generosity, and I'm sure Harley appreciates the shout out there. So a lot of reasons to give. We appreciate everyone who's watching. There are hundreds of people watching right now. We thank you. It's a huge part right now. There's a community here. And that's what we're doing. We are surviving and thriving together. We all feel isolated, but it's nice to be together. Right now, we have a conversation with a businessman who is just leading the charge, doing so many good things, helping the country survive and thrive because he's in a pretty big position. He's the president of Walgreens. It's Richard Ashworth. Take a look. Richard Ashworth, president of Walgreens. Such a pleasure to have you here. I can only imagine how busy you are. So let's get right to this. Just take us through what Walgreens is doing to really help customers, patients, and your employees during this COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, Matt, I appreciate it. I'm busy just like everybody else trying to figure out what this new normal looks like. And I really appreciate the opportunity to jump on today in this surviving and thriving in the time of COVID-19. It's what everybody's talking about and what we're all dealing with. But at Walgreens, we're doing quite a bit, mostly focused on our employees and our customers, as you would suspect. So, you know, we're in every community across America. So for us, this is like bread and butter of retail pharmacy, trying to be in communities to help patients get the essentials they need, not only on healthcare, like their prescriptions, but also products too. And especially those like in a senior population, which, as you know, are specifically, you know, disproportionately impacted with COVID-19. So very specifically, I would say we're doing a lot on safety and precautions like sanitizing and clean store environments, social distancing, dedicated shopping hours for seniors. You know, we froze all of our price increases and things like that, and really making sure that we have the supply chain in order. So we have the products and services that people are looking for, and a lot on testing too. I don't know if you've seen, but we're doing a lot on making COVID testing available to people who qualify in partnership with HHS. So doing quite a bit there.
So now we talked about obviously the vulnerable population. People think of the elderly, of course. Then there are underlying conditions, and for people in the arthritis community, a lot of us are on immune modifying drugs. We're essentially immune compromised. Are there any particular measures you've tried to implement at Walgreens, or even if it's just educating the patients of measures or ways to be safe while shopping in the store and getting those often the medications and the tests that we need?
Yeah, great point. I mean, the first thing is that we know those medications, and we know, you know, how important treatment and management of these conditions are for just daily life and for living. So a lot of our patients are dealing, as you mentioned, to be immunocompromised. First thing is to make sure we maintain in stock on the medications they need to keep their conditions under control. That's probably one of the biggest things. And we're doing a lot of digital things. In other words, keeping immunocompromised people and seniors, kind of putting them in a little bit of a similar bucket in terms of risk, and doing a lot digital. So we did something right off the bat, which was we made all of our prescriptions next day to be delivered to the home for free. So you know what, we'll just ship it to you. Same for all of our online orders at Walgreens.com. You know, all the thresholds or shipping fees, we waived all that and just got everything kind of going straight to home. We also did something, this is pretty cool, where you can just go onto the Walgreens app, pick the products that you want, just come in the drive-thru, we'll give it to you right through the drive-thru window. So you don't even have to come into the store. We had over 60 items available for that, mostly health related. So for those that have immunocompromised conditions, they have the medication, you know, the prescriptions, but there's also a lot of other things to manage a condition too, right? Could be creams, could be, you know, supplements, could be lots of things. And so making front end items and pharmacy items available through drive-thru has been big. Lastly, I would say specific to the immunocompromised group is we have a Find Care platform. So if you go onto Walgreens.com or go into our app and you can see Find Care, there, that platform has chronic care management, has connected devices, has digital solutions, does a lot for chronic conditions. And we help navigate you to care. As you know, telehealth is skyrocketing for obvious reasons. So we can help you do that as well. And then just lastly, you know, we did quite a bit on additional features for providers on Walgreens Find Care so that they can in partnership with the CDC, give specific information to the immunocompromised group about what choices they have.
So what's amazing to me, Richard, is hearing in this time, this unprecedented time, what I'm loving to hear is the innovations, a lot of which you already had in place at Walgreens in terms of the drive-through and the delivery. And it sounds like you're ramping it up, but really educating people as to what's available. So to me, I would say, what innovations do you see that you may have already had in place, or how is this spurred the growth of Walgreens and the way you look at that patient, the patient interaction with Walgreens?
Yeah. Well, what got us to where we are, because, we're over, 9,300 locations, 75% of America lives within 5 miles of a Walgreens. And that was all physical. I've been here almost 28 years, a little over 28 years now. So I've been through a lot of that growth, and that was all about physical growth. And to your point, what's the innovation change? It's digital growth. It's explosion of omni-channel and making these boxes, which are fantastic, especially for people who need, interaction and discussion with their pharmacist or a service like an immunization. But how do we actually ramp that up even more by digital? So that we broke our own mold by making something free and making it, during this pandemic. But will it change what we do on the outside of this as we come back into new normal? Absolutely. And that'll be a big part of our focus, will be digital.
Well, it's amazing to me. So one of the things that we often talk about, but may not really understand, is the people who make it possible at Walgreens. And it's not just the people up front, the supply chains, delivery chains. So take us through what logistical challenges you faced and how Walgreens has acted to make sure that they're safe, because if that breaks down, everything breaks down.
It doesn't work. That's right. Oh, a couple things on this. I'm actually getting a little emotional thinking about it, to be honest, because this team has been unbelievable. So you definitely have people that you would see in the store, right? Standing on the front line, true heroes, like helping, medical professionals get what they need for their patients, helping customers get what they need for essential products and medications, and just being there in the community for them. And we've done a lot to protect them, face coverings for their mouth, plexiglass shields at the registers, social distancing, placards around the store to help people, a lot of cleaning, a lot of sanitizing, all that kind of stuff. Adjusted store hours as well, give them more time to clean, things like that. But actually, it's all the people kind of in the back side too, our supply chain, our pharmacy teams, our HR teams. Just in times of crisis, which is what this is, you see the true character of people. And the true character of Walgreens is one of really, really caring about their patients and doing whatever it takes to rise to the challenge to take care of them. And that is what has happened. This communal, and actually it's broader than just Walgreens, it's all of retail pharmacies. So even my competitive brethren, right? We talk all the time and sharing what we're doing and working together with the government even to make COVID-19 testing happen. That was something we did in partnership with other retailers. Like, you put the competitiveness aside and you more collaborate to take care of the American public.
I think that's been what's remarkable, is never, certainly in my lifetime, have I ever seen where the entirety of not just America, but the world, from commercially, governments, private industry, everything focused on one problem. It's been amazing seeing the innovations. So you talked about these unbelievable people at Walgreens, and I'm sure there are countless stories. Give me just one story that stood out where you've heard about your employees going the extra mile, something that really stood out for you that kind of epitomizes that spirit with which you're tackling this.
Yeah, I've got hundreds of these. I could spend like hours, and you would fire me or act like there was a technical problem and cut me off. But I'll just say, this speaks to the true character of Walgreens, right? Which is fast to rise to the challenge right up front. So in March, right when this thing really started to become a thing, right, and we were as American public kind of starting to see it on the news more often and getting worried. I think it was the Grand Princess. Cruise ship. I want to make sure I get the name right. Anyway, they pulled into the port at San Francisco Bay, and they were not allowed to get off. Remember that big story? And everybody was talking about it all the time. Many of them were seniors. Many of them had immunocompromised conditions that were on there, and they were in that holding pattern off the bay there for a long time. And our pharmacist rose up to the challenge, brought their medication needs to the port, and worked out a process with, I think it was the Grand Princess, to help them get their medications in a very safe way. And we did all that like within 8 hours of time. We just said whatever it takes. So we went and got all the prescriptions filled. Not all of them were even ours. There were maybe other retailers. Didn't matter. We were just trying to get product to patients. That's the real spirit of community pharmacy, and definitely that of Walgreens. Yeah.
Well, and it's what you said, where you're dropping the competitive nature now and the collaboration, everyone improving together. But to that end, obviously there have been some huge challenges in terms of figuring out the logistical supply chains, keeping the stores clean, even getting the testing implemented. So just take me through, what challenges do you see in the future as this pandemic moves on, as it hopefully transitions out? What are the challenges that you see Walgreens facing?
It's a hard question to answer for obvious reasons. I would say first is we don't know, and whatever we think we know, we're probably wrong, right? So it's really about building the right playbooks for a playbook that doesn't exist. We're like, each new day brings a new challenge. You're like, okay, so now it's antigen and antibody testing. Okay, wait, maybe herd immunity does or doesn't work. Wait, the science is evolving, so the answers are evolving. For us, our purpose and our mission is to be community focused, community driven, right? And doing whatever's right. So our true north is to take care of our employees and take care of our patients. So whatever that new reality is, not sure what it will be, we're going to rise to it. Some trends we know for sure, like, the pantry filling, I've got more toilet paper now at this house than I will need for the next few years. But employees, what's going to happen to employees? Will absenteeism be on the rise or not? Is it, how do they feel about coming back to work? What's the unemployment rise? This is the sharpest unemployment rise that we have seen like ever. And so how do we deal with the uniqueness of that as an employer? And then the way customers are going to change, the way that they think about what's the most convenient and safest way for me to shop and get the goods and services. What's a trusted source for the information that I need? Because I have anxiety about this, or I'm worried about this, or I don't understand it. And so we're going to spend all of our time building the agility into and adaptability into our playbooks, more than trying to come up with the answers right now, but what we think the future is going to look like. Does that make sense?
You know what? Not only does it make sense, Richard, I love it, because that's something I think that a lot of us have been struggling with, is in the face of this uncertainty, in the face of not knowing what's happening, how do we act? And I love that you just said, you identified your fundamental principles, that this community first, helping our customers and helping our people in the stores, that if you have that, everything else falls into place, as long as you have those central principles that you're using as your guideposts. I think that's actually a really profound thing you described, a way that a lot of us can kind of make sense of these times. So one last question here, Richard, you've been more than generous with your time. I know you're very busy, but tonight's about challenges, surviving and thriving in the face of challenges. So I have a challenging question for you. I hope you'll play along. So listen, right now, I'm talking to you as the president of Walgreens, but also as a very creative man. I want you to try to pitch me a new product that you think would help these American people that could be on the shelves of Walgreens. What would be something that, if you could snap your fingers and make it happen, what would a product be that you could see benefiting so many of your consumers?
The number one would be a true vaccine for COVID-19. That'd be the first product that, if I had that today to be out on the shelf for my pharmacist to administer to you, that would be the most important thing I do. In the short term, I would actually get you visibility. So have I had it? Did I have it or not? Am I safe from this or not? Those are like probably the two biggest things that are on most Americans' minds, which is, when it goes back to new normal, am I safe to travel around about and go to my normal shopping, or go to my normal behaviors, or see my friends, and spend some time with my neighbors or my family who I haven't seen. So those two products, I wish that we could snap our fingers and make available in the market. Did I have it, and am I safe? And can I protect myself from this in the future?
I got to say, Richard, thank you. Thank you for your time here. And thank you, because I think so often in America, we often think of corporations as nameless, faceless entities. And A, you being here, but B, I think what we're all experiencing from our neighborhood pharmacies, even these big chains, we realize they're still made of people. And these are people who are really everyday heroes going to work when so many of us are being told to stay home. So I just think, to me, this has reminded us we're all in this together. And it's so awesome to hear Walgreens, as you said, doing everything you can to take care of your patients, to take care of your employees, knowing that that's going to lead to the best outcomes. So I just want to say thank you for your time, and thank you for doing what you're doing for Walgreens, being a big part of, like so many companies, being here for America, being here for the world when we need it most.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I have to say, having me here today, you didn't get the best of Walgreens. You could have taken any one of our people from our stores, and they would have had a much more passionate thing to say. All I would say is thank you for your time, and stay safe and healthy, everybody.
Well, thank you. Richard Ashworth from Walgreens, getting back to it. Thank you so much for joining us. This is why we're here in the Survive and Thrive Challenge. Loved hearing from Richard Ashworth. Love that sentiment. I want to give a shout out to a lot of people here on Facebook. Jennifer Ross, Cindy Thompson McDaniel, Haiti Saddlemeyer, Michelle Bart, Philip Hain, which means Andrew Hain is on there. We appreciate everyone who's joining us for this. It is like one big family here. Speaking of family, one Gronkowski ain't enough. Right now, we're going to bring in the other brother, one of the many, the brood. Chris Gronkowski is joining us. Bro, look at those guns.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm great. Now, where are you quarantined?
Just outside of Dallas.
And how you holding up through this, man?
Man, good. It's been good. I got the 2 kids at home. I got the 3rd kid on the way in May. So hopefully this all clears up before that comes.
So how your brother obviously had some big news, man. What's your take on Rob going back to the league?
I don't know how he's going to handle it when he can't handle these or these. Oh, wow. That was a great answer, actually. I love that.
Hey, I don't play favorites, but Chris did a stint with the Broncos, and the Broncos are my team here, Rob. Chris, you look like you
play favorites. So you play favorites.
You look like you're informed to get back on the field. How's your health?
Oh, I mean, I'm feeling good, but definitely not in playing shape. I'm probably down 30 pounds, and it's easy to look good, but it's a lot harder to perform at that level. So completely different training.
Well, I know you're proud of your brother. What's it been like? Gronkowski, a big clan, like you said, 2 kids, a 3rd on the way. How's it been staying in touch with family during all this?
I mean, we've been used to being apart ever since we all got in the league and also through college. So we've always communicated through phone calls, text messages, but it's actually almost improved because now that everyone's video chatting, and that's kind of the thing to do now with the quarantine, we've all been on video chat. So it's been pretty cool. We've actually interacted probably more throughout this time.
It is. It's a silver lining with this. And here's the thing. Rob has been so generous supporting this, but not to be outdone, Chris. We see your shirt there. We know the product. Talk about how you're supporting this Survive and Thrive event here, showing up that product. Tell us what you're doing here.
Absolutely. So we got 50 ice shakers. They're going out to the first 50 people that donate $75 today. Also getting some CBD medic with it, and it's the custom engraved bottle that Rob's holding. So if you're lucky enough, you might get the one he's drinking.
So you mean something like this thing right here?
Man, hold on.
Yeah, but Matt, if they're lucky, they get mine. Mine's special. I'm touching it. I'm drinking it. It's my baby right now.
Listen, this thing, I got my hands on one of these. If you like I was going to say protein shakes. I should say protein shakes. If you like a protein shake, it's a real good mixer. It's also insulated. These things are the real deal. We saw it on Shark Tank. What do you have there, Chris? What's yours? That's a nice one, that kind of faded color.
What I did was I actually just took the top off and I use it as, a nice open mouth, drink. I'm
like a good tumbler here. You've been on Shark Tank with this. This product is doing well. We really appreciate you. If people donate $75, you get some of the CBD medic, you get some of this ointment, and you can get one of these ice shakers. This is the real deal thing. Great. If you're in a car, it's a great way to get your drink. So, Chris, tonight's about challenges. Now, we'd love to have you and Rob either step on the field, put you in the wrestling ring, but we can't. So I'm going to ask you a challenging. Boy, we could see he is a Gronkowski brother through and through.
Sorry, Matt. Let him tire out, man. Let him just talk and talk. I'll wait for the challenge because I'm a good listener.
Well, okay. Well, here it is. Listen, both you guys have had a lot of success. So, Chris, I'm going to ask you. You're an entrepreneur. You're building this huge company. Your brother is playing in the league. I'm going to ask you, Chris, with your brother listening.
Oh,
which is Chris or Rob the more successful Gronkowski brother? Chris, what's your answer?
Oh, wow, he's out of just us two. Wow. I mean, that's a good question. It depends what you are asking. So, are you talking about success on the field? I'm probably going to have to give it to myself for my 3 carries because I average more yards per carry than Rob. He only got 1 yard per carry. It was actually a pass, but it still it counted as a rush. So, I averaged about 1.2 yards. He got 1. So I'm talking about me right here. Let's go.
What an answer. That was incredible.
I had no clue that was even coming. That was amazing.
That was great.
Rob, what do you like most about your brother?
Chris?
Yeah, Chris, the one we're talking to right now.
Well, because he's like my least favorite brother. So at first I was just thinking in my head what I just love about my other brothers. So I got confused. But no, Chris is great. He's always fun to joke around with. What's great about Chris is when it's time to be serious and get down to work and be successful and get into the business world, he's serious and gets that done. And then on top of it, he likes to have a good time, have fun, and he works his butt off. He works his butt off at whatever he's doing. If it was when he was in the NFL, he was an underdog at his position, but he worked his butt off and played 3 years. But at the same time, he loves to have a good time, loves to have fun, and loves when his brothers come around. He brings himself to another atmosphere when he gets around his brothers. It's hilarious. He's the number one seed, we call him.
Number one seed. Chris, speaking of good times, listen, we don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know when the football season's going to start up, but I imagine, are you going to be there for that home game in Tampa for your brother when he goes on the field?
I hope so. Baby number 3 on the way in about a month. So that might be the only thing that holds me back from being there on opening day.
Well, listen, we just wanted to bring you in to say thank you because you're so generous with Ice Shaker, supporting your brother, supporting the Arthritis Foundation. Chris, we wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Rob's going to be back for more of the quarantine combine, but Chris brought something up. He's clearly a family guy, not just his brother, but his own family. He's got another baby on the way. And that brings it up. There are more than 300,000 children in America living with arthritis. Here's a look at what the Arthritis Foundation does for those kids.
At this camp, you're perfect. You get to bond more with other people that have arthritis.
It's just such a great, happy place that everyone is equal and so fun.
They're connecting with people that they never thought that they would connect with before on a level that they never thought they could.
Finding other people who have the same disease helps you get through it on your own.
I know that I'm not alone. I'll always have people there.
This camp is a miracle.
The most wonderful place there is for all the kids like me.
Really hard to have arthritis, and it hurts and it makes you cry.
Can't even describe the pain.
I couldn't run, jump, or skip for a year.
It's life-changing. It's not just a summer camp.
We offer them experiences that they don't get anywhere else.
You get to go horseback riding.
The cabins are amazing.
I really like the zip line. I went on it twice.
They can go and do the ropes course and the rock climbing.
We tailor it to be more aware of symptoms and disabilities.
You just kind of think about it as recess, the whole entire day, recess.
I love this camp so much. There are so many people who have the same disease as me.
We're all like each other, and it's just us. It just makes you feel crazy happy here.
You can forget about your disease completely for 5 days out of the year and come back as a more confident individual.
The parents, they always see a notable change. And I love seeing that change.
It's the awesomest place there is. I have more fun than ever.
It's just a relief. It's a whole other world.
That 5 days carries on forever.
You can be normal for a couple of days.
It's definitely an experience that every kid with arthritis needs to have growing up.
So we are rolling on with this special Survive and Thrive Celebrity Challenge, and we have two people who are celebrities in the world of arthritis. And that's really what this is about. We want to raise awareness and let people know we understand what you're going through, and these ladies know firsthand. They deal with the challenges of arthritis, but they always see the positive. That's why their podcast is called Live Yes with Arthritis, totally embodying the spirit of the Arthritis Foundation. Pleased to welcome in the hosts, Rebecca Gillette and Julie Eller. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Matt. It's good to see you again.
So you two, like me, you two are both very open about your challenges in living with arthritis. So Rebecca, I want to start with you. Just take us through how you've battled this disease, what it's meant, and how you've come to this this positive view, this to really embody this live yes spirit?
Well, Matt, I was diagnosed in my mid-20s, and it's almost just over 18 years of having rheumatoid arthritis. I was young, had a great at the top of my career, and it really hit me hard. For the first couple years, I really didn't seek out help. I didn't know that there were other people young like me with it. And it wasn't until almost 2 years into my diagnosis that I met my doctor, and he said, you know, I think you need to do a little bit more to help yourself. There's things you can do. We need to reduce your stress. We need to reduce your flares. And it was at that point where I realized, oh, there's things that I can do. That actually pushed me to switch careers to become an occupational therapist so I could help other people with arthritis to learn that there's things you can do. We can't control our disease, but there's things that we can do to control our pain and maybe some of our symptoms. And so I switched careers, went back to grad school and became an OT, and later on got involved in the Arthritis Foundation. I've been a longtime volunteer, advocate, and on different committees, but now on staff and hosting this amazing podcast that is so much fun. So it's like I dreamed it and it's happening, and I couldn't ask for anything better, right?
Well, what I love, though, is your doctor talked about helping yourself. And in doing that, you end up discovering an entirely new profession. And in the end, though, you end up using that profession as well as now your participation with the Arthritis Foundation to go back to helping others. So it is kind of that message that we always know. You have to help yourself first, take care of yourself before you can help others. What about you, Julie? I know your diagnosis was a little bit earlier, but how did you then come to do extraordinary things living with arthritis?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I have lived with juvenile idiopathic arthritis since I was a kid. I started showing symptoms when I was about 7 years old, so around first grade. And it took me a little while to find that diagnosis because it's hard. People don't always know that kids get arthritis too. And so my experience with arthritis was really invisible for a while. And I liked to keep it that way for a long part of my life. You know, it's never good to be a teenager, a high schooler, and trying to, navigate all of those challenges without arthritis. So adding arthritis in, it's quite fun. But I went off to college and I studied public health because I really, like Rebecca, wanted to help people who were experiencing healthcare challenges and gaps and wanted to navigate that. And I didn't really feel comfortable sharing my story about my personal experience with the healthcare system until I really got involved with the Arthritis Foundation. And so I came on as an intern during my university years, and I got to join the advocacy team, which was very, very special to me because I got to go off to Capitol Hill and talk to decision makers, talk to policymakers, and share our story, our collective story about how arthritis can carry weight for our community and impact our community and the ways that we can build a better world by changing policy and making core decisions with patients in mind. And that's what lit the fire for me. And I found my passion there about how we can share patient stories and share our stories to take back our voices so that we can make change happen for people. It's how I found myself in patient engagement. I do that now outside of advocacy, but in the science space and the product development space and internally with the Arthritis Foundation. And my call to action is to really make sure that patient voices and patient experiences are at the center.
Well, I love that because it's about sharing stories. And I think that is an empowering sentiment there. And as you talked about, a lot of people aren't comfortable about it. And I think that's what all three of us really love doing. And what I know your podcast is about is removing the stigma, removing the mystery about sharing your stories. But for each of you now these are very unusual times, as we know, and it's always compounded when you're living with chronic pain, a chronic illness that so many of the more than 54 million Americans with arthritis are. So how are you two not only surviving, but how are you guys thriving in this quarantine time?
It's not easy, is it? It's tough. And like you, Matt, I think Julie and I travel a lot as well for work sometimes. And it's been weird. It's a pause. We've been forced to be, push pause on what we do.
We're grounded.
Yeah, we are grounded.
Like the airlines and like our parents, just stay at home.
Well, yeah,
That's
like
right.
I feel like we've been put in the corner.
Yes.
Back baby in the corner. But, I'm finding that it was really busy for us. So I think one of the nice things I'm embracing is that I can actually breathe right now and take a pause and take a break. And I was already working remotely, so I was working from home. So that hasn't been something to get used to. But coming into a different kind of routine too, when you are traveling so much, it's hard to stay in a routine. And so now it's been great. I have this nice routine. And when I'm making my coffee in the morning, I'm doing some yoga stretches and stretching my spine out on my foam roller. And I do it in the evening too. And I do it in the middle of the day to get a break. But I'm finding that I found little things to kind of take care of myself built into my day, and it's easier to do it now because I am not going anywhere.
Challenge is going to be when this quarantine is lifted and we lose our routine. But Julie, what about you? What are you doing there?
Yeah, I find that I feel a sense, we have so much opportunity right now to do whatever comes to mind. And I feel like all I want to do is take control of my life and what's going on there and how I can feel a sense of control in a space that's really, really scary and unknown. So the thing that's helping me thrive the most is feeling like I can take care of my family. We've been having these Zoom calls with all of the members of my family. I've got 11 cousins and my mom and her cousins, and everybody's getting together and we're having these 25 people calls, and those are really sweet and special. And I really appreciate that time.
You need manners to survive those. I imagine.
You're telling me. It's a lot of nodding and loving and sweetness. But those are really helping me quite a bit. And my Arthritis Foundation family is helping me quite a bit. It's been really nice to feel like I can come to work and work on things that are really impactful and moving us forward, making sure people have access to care and all of the pieces that are really feeling scary, making sure that we have voices there is good.
I love what you guys are talking about. Rebecca, you mentioned really slowing down, finding that routine. And Julie, we are, they use socially distancing, but I think physically distancing while socially connecting. And this is a great way to do it. We're trying to let people know. A lot of people may be familiar with what arthritis they have. Rebecca, you've spent so much time with this. Take us through how many different types of arthritis there are. People only think of osteoarthritis, and for most people, that's all they know. What else are they missing?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's actually over 100 types of arthritis out there that fall under that rheumatic diseases conditions. And lupus is one, fibromyalgia is one, gout falls under the umbrella of arthritis. There's osteoarthritis and degenerative disc disease, people who have ankylosing spondylitis or psoriatic arthritis. There is a very long list. And when you look at that long list of over 100 diseases, all of us know somebody who has something. It affects 1 in 4 people in the United States, and that's a big number.
Yeah.
And the 300,000 children is again another thing that you don't think about. One thing is that the science and the research, thank God, has changed. Right, it's made a difference for us in our treatment plans. Yeah. But then it also makes it a challenge because all of those over 100 different types of arthritis become an invisible disease. And it's hard to know that, I've had 14 surgeries because I also have osteoarthritis in my spine and not just rheumatoid arthritis. So I have degenerative disc disease in my spine. And so when you're
checking
about
a lot
that,
of boxes with your
yes, exactly. Right. I can't, there's not one box. It's not one disease.
It's such a varied disease. It really is. And Julie, I know there are a lot of myths associated with arthritis. People talk about, cures and old treatments and things. Take us through some of this and really why the Arthritis Foundation needs support, and really now more than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest myths is, speaking to that last point, that there are, osteoarthritis, everybody gets it. What happens there? 100 different types of arthritis, more than that, and all of them are welcome at the Arthritis Foundation. We are a big tent foundation for everybody who experiences life with arthritis. And I think some of the myths that exist out there are really rooted in misinformation, right? And the best place that you can come to course correct on that is to the Arthritis Foundation, where we have resources and programs and people, real people who are experiencing this condition, these conditions, and want to connect with you. Some of my favorite myths that we've busted lately, we had a great episode just on this topic, misinformation and arthritis and how you can really have those things course corrected on and debunked. We talked about cracking your knuckles, giving you arthritis.
Yeah.
Not true. We talked about
I'm cracking them right now.
cracking them right now. That's right.
Yeah.
But all of those things we talk about, and we want to make sure that people have the most accurate information so that they can inform their health plan and their lifestyle in the way that's going to best suit them and best suit their conditions. So.
Well, and that's what that money does. The money that goes to the Arthritis
right.
Foundation, like you said, resources, support, and people. And in times like this, that's what we're seeing. That's what Ann Palmer was talking about, the Arthritis Foundation. So many people are reaching out for connections, for support, for the resources, and of course, for the research that can lead to these breakthroughs that can help all the 54 million Americans right now and those in the future. But tonight isn't just about information. It's not just about surviving and thriving. It's about challenges. Are you ladies ready to be challenged?
Ready.
Yes, ready.
Rebecca,
ready.
you're kind of nervous. I'm going to start with you. Okay, listen.
I'm ready.
I got a challenging question for you, Rebecca. And what I love is, tonight we're focusing so much on the positives, and we talked about the strengths. But I think sometimes people need to see the vulnerability. So I'm challenging you to share what is the weakness that you may have discovered during this isolation.
Oh, I feel like I just keep eating. I mean,
I think a lot of people are raising their hands right now.
Easter candy. I mean, and I'm not a baker. And last weekend I baked the whole day and none of it turned out good. So I cannot quit my day job. But there's candy stashed everywhere. And like, I just feel like I have this sugar thing. But and I know that that's not good for me, right? Yeah. Like I'm trying I've been going on more walks and I've been trying, but it is hard to continue to eat healthy.
I am totally with you. And people say be gentle. They say be gentle on yourself. Yeah. I'm like, I'm being gentle on an additional 15 pounds.
Yes. I'm gaining the COVID-19.
That's right.
The 19 pounds. Everybody keeps saying quarantine 15. I'm like, I think I'm going to gain the COVID-19 pounds. No.
COVID-19. You should trademark that.
I know. Trying to maintain, trying to stop like boredom eating or just snacking and like all the candy. I'm having a hard time and I know it's not good for me, but I have at least been going on walks when I can, and it's not been snowing here. I mean, it's been snowing. I'm in Colorado.
You know what, though? I thank you for your honesty, because a lot of times on here, we try to focus on the positive, but sometimes people feel like, oh, they've got it all figured out. And I think it's so on when we are just honest, like, no, I had half a bag of cookies last night. I'm trying to cook.
I baked an entire marble cake from scratch, incling the frosting.
Okay, I'll send you my mailing address. You can send that. I will. That sounds really good. Julie, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to ask you to be the oracle. I'm going to ask you to predict the future. We've seen so many challenges through COVID-19, through dealing with this, but I want you to try to predict what you think are going to be the positive changes that we're going to see in people and maybe society coming out of this.
I love that question. I think it's hard to forecast the positive when we're in such an uncertain space, but it's so important to think about the things that are coming together. And I think that's this social distancing experience has been one of the largest acts of community kindness, all coming together for the social good. And I really appreciate thinking about what that means at a population level, but also what that means at an individual level. I think this experience has taught us so much about what it's like to live with a chronic and invisible disease, where you're really conscious of how your immunosuppression is going to interact with the rest of the world. And it's like we're all taking this exercise of empathy right now and experiencing what that's like. And I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. And so I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see maybe more accessible solutions coming to light, more Zoom calls for folks who are housebound, more opportunities for telemedicine if you live in an area where it's hard to see a specialist, more subject matter experts coming to life who can teach us things. How many master classes have we seen, or tutorials, or folks coming who are at the top of their game coming to teach us about public health. And I think more than anything, we see this return to a focus on healthcare as a real core engine for how our country runs, how our world runs, and enthusiasm for making it run really well as we move forward. So
I love
lots
it.
of hope.
I love it. And we could all be a little more empathetic. I think that could be a great outcome of this. Ladies, I can't thank you enough for your time and just sharing your knowledge, sharing your stories. So once again, where can they find the Live Yes with Arthritis podcast?
Anywhere you get your podcasts. If you're an Apple podcast person or a Spotify person, and one of the best places to look is on the arthritis.org website if you're just getting started.
So thank you once again, Julie and Rebecca, and check out their podcast, Live Yes with Arthritis, wherever you get your podcasts. And what a reminder why this is such a wonderful cause and why this is the time to donate now to the Arthritis Foundation. It's not about what you get, but you can get some awesome incentives. I got my eye on that Gronkowski jersey, whatever. It's not about that. I would just really look good in an 87 jersey. Listen, this night is going to roll on, a lot more fun to be had.
Hi, I'm Kennedy, and during the coronavirus, I have been recovering from surgery I got on my foot. I've been using crutches and a boot. I've been surviving and thriving because I've been video chatting with my friends, drawing pictures on the driveway, and taking walks with my family.
Oh, come on. Was Kennedy the cutest? Thank you, Kennedy. We appreciate you sharing your story. And you are a little stud. I'm so impressed with you. That's why we're doing this, folks, to help people like Kennedy, to help the 54 million Americans, many of whom are watching right now, people who need that help. So donate if you can. We've had some fantastic donations. A Gronkowski jersey. Remember, $750. You'll get 2 tickets in the lower bowl, 2 pregame tailgate passes to a New England football game at Gillette Stadium, and some CBD Medic arthritis pain relief ointment. The jerseys are going fast. I wanted to say we had some donations here. Cindy Copenhaver, she donated. Cindy Christie donated because Louisa on the loose, ankylosing spondylitis, 11 years old. She's been living with arthritis since she can remember. We appreciate everyone who's donating. You're seeing why we're doing this. Lisa Wolf, we've been talking about the challenges. You guys sharing the challenges you're facing. Lisa Wolf says, my 9-year-old daughter lives with juvenile arthritis and is super bummed her arthritis camp was canceled for the summer on top of being stuck at home for months on end. Can't wait to get back to our normal. Lisa, we all feel that way. We don't know what the normal is going to be, but we're going to figure it out together. We're all going to survive and thrive. A lot more stuff coming up. We're going to have Gronk and Camille, their relationship challenge. But right now, we're going back to our quarantine combine. Brian Urlacher, Legarrette, Blount, and Rob Gronkowski going toe-to-toe. Our Survive and Thrive Celebrity Quarantine Challenge rolls on. It's time for our Combine Challenge Part 2. And we've got Rob, Brian, and Legarrette back. And a reminder, Brian Urlacher crushed our first challenge, buttoning up that shirt, took first place, running away. Legarrette got second. Rob Gronkowski, while trying to put on Camille's shirt, came in a distant third, but looked sharp doing it. Boys, here's your chance to get back on the board. We're doing a challenge here. A lot of us are spending time on Zoom, on FaceTime. We're communicating via technology, and sometimes our signals get crossed. Sometimes we miss out on things. So I'm going to test how well you guys can focus. This is going to be lip reading comprehension. So I'm going to mute myself, say a sentence. Your job is to figure out what I'm saying. Rob, we're going to go with you first because once again, you are in third place. You guys ready to do this?
All right. I'm ready, man. Let's go.
Okay. Pay attention.
Let's do it.
Here we go, Rob. Your first sentence.
Rob
distracting.
Gronkowski is my hero. That's how I just saw it. I could just tell.
Rob Gronkowski. It was very close. I said Ron Burgundy is my hero.
Oh,
Ron Burgundy, everybody's favorite newscaster, Will Ferrell. Rob, you can have some scotch because you don't get a point. So, Legarrette, here's your chance. All right, Legarrette, here's your chance. Brian thinks he knows it, but Legarrette, it's your guess.
You just gave it away.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds.
Oh, did I say it?
Yeah. What easy.
You said it with your mouth, and you were like this.
Was washed. Well, listen, after Rob struggled. All right. Legarrette, you got a point. Legarrette got a point. Rob's got none. Brian, here's your chance. And Brian, I know you were jumping out of your seat. You knew that one. So now here's your turn. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see it. What is it, Brian?
Can you hear me? Because I can hear you.
Oh, my goodness. Brian Urlacher, verbatim. He matches up with Legarrette. Rob, back to you.
All right, back to me. All right, let's
go.
Rob.
So this is possible. Now I'll give you a hint, Rob. I think this one would apply to you. Okay, are you ready, Rob? Here we go.
Oh, I think I know it.
I'll give it to you one more time.
All right, one more time.
I don't know if my act out helped at all.
You did good.
I did. Is it do your job?
Oh, a very good guess. Rob, it was the message everyone sends to you, the message that I think you're going to hear in Florida. Take it to the house.
Oh, take it to the house. I thought it was this
do
is
your
our
job.
house.
This is our house, Legarrette. I like that, Brian.
That's doing your job, though. Taking the ball. Doing your job.
That's his job.
Okay.
Hey,
that is the New England way.
Embedded in your DNA.
All right, Legarrette, are you ready? Here's your chance.
I got that one.
You want it again, Legarrette?
Yeah.
Here we go, and I'll give you some act outs here. I don't know if that act out was great. At least the first part.
I think I'm ready. I think I got it.
Okay, Legarrette, what do you got?
Bye, Miss American Pie.
You are good.
Let's go.
You are good, Legarrette. Right now with 2 points. Brian, it comes to you. I don't know if you guys are seeing Brian. First of all, he's about an inch from the screen, and every time he's nodding his head going, I got this. I got this.
I didn't have that one.
Well, here you go, Brian. We'll see if you can get this one. Do you want it again?
I think I got it.
You think you got it? I can give it to you again, or you can guess.
One? I got it, Tony. You ready?
What is it?
Say hello to my little friend.
Yes! Take it to the limit, Brian Urlacher.
Yes, great
and
movie.
He and Legarrette are nodding it too. Rob, you were the one. We this is where we're expecting it. All right, Rob, here we go. You can tie this up, Rob. Here we go. I'll give it to you right now.
I feel like when you talk to them, like I can read it, but when you talk to me, like
okay, I'll give it to you one more time.
One more time
with a little hint.
Give him one.
A little hint.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Oh,
very close. It was 1st and 10. Which technically this is first down, but it was 1st and 10. No points are awarded. Rob, you were still at 0.
Dang, dog.
You're very happy. Legarrette, you and Brian are nodding.
Dog got in the character right there, though. You got to understand he got in the character.
Now here it goes. Here it goes, boys.
You know I'm used to those first downs.
This is round 3. This is the last round. If both you get this, we'll have to go to sudden death. But Legarrette, right now, you could put the pressure on the leader, Brian Urlacher. Legarrette, here we go.
Ready.
Are you ready?
Screw up, Garrett. Let's go.
I got it.
You got it. All right. This is to take the lead. What do you say?
Hey man, clutch man like me make clutch plays in clutch situations. May the force be with you.
Oh yeah. The force is strong in Legarrette Blount. He is in the lead. Brian has to get this question to force sudden death. to take this night. Let's see what happens. Here
The
we
guy
go.
with no Super Bowl rings is going to fold for sure.
Here we go.
That's blunt. Oh,
Need it again, Brian?
Can you do it one more time just so I can make sure?
So easy.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
All right.
Survive and thrive.
Boom! It's coming down to sudden death. So here's how it's
I
going
didn't
to
even
work,
know
guys.
that.
I'm going to lip read one more statement. Brian and Legarrette, whoever answers it correctly first, will take the title in this second part of our quarantine challenge.
All right.
Hold on. So we just shout it out?
Just shout it out, and whoever
All right.
gets it correctly first will take the
What
title.
if we shout it out as you're saying it, or we have to wait till you're done saying it?
You just, whenever you shout it out, whenever you get it, but you got to get it right. You only get one guess, guys.
Ooh.
One guess. So make it count. If neither of you gets it, we can read it again a second time.
All right.
Are you nervous?
I'm ready.
I'm just
Come on,
checking
man.
with you guys.
I'm
I'm
nervous.
just checking
Paying
with
attention.
you guys.
Mute yourself.
Okay, here we go.
Mute yourself.
Third, and I'm nervous.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Oh, Brian Urlacher by 1 second got the Arnold Schwarzenegger quote. Brian takes the second part of the quarantine challenge. That's 2 victories for Urlacher.
Hey, that was
Legarrette
me.
once again in second.
Good job,
How-
Legarrette.
Dude,
Number 2.
you guys
Good job.
were awesome at this. And Rob, you played as well.
I played amazing. I gave it
Rob, this is your game.
Oh, you guys, I love this
man.
competition. Keep in mind, though, there's a third part of this quarantine challenge. It's not over. But Brian Urlacher, you are on par to get your first championship ring, my man.
Yes. Oh, this is what I've been waiting for.
Well, listen, you guys, this is it. This is about the quarantine challenge. I love these celebs coming on, giving their time. It's a reminder we are all in this together. We're surviving and thriving. If you want to make a difference, you can donate, give to the Arthritis Foundation. Let's make a difference. Now, I gave Chef Ming Tsai a Survive and Thrive challenge to come up with some quarantine cuisine. Let's check in on him, see how that's going. So Chef Ming, with everyone in quarantine, we're staying at home. We're eating more than ever at home. We're cooking more than ever at home. And some of us aren't that experienced. We don't have a large repertoire. So your challenge is to help us be inspired, to survive and thrive with some quarantine cuisine, something that is easy to make, that is delicious, that is good for us. Because this is about people with arthritis and it can be a challenge to cook when you have arthritis, your challenge, Chef Ming, is to do this while wearing an oven mitt on your hand the entire time. So inspire us. Cuisine that's delicious, that's simple, that's healthy, cooking it with an oven mitt and making sure, if possible, some anti-inflammatory ingredients. You really have your work cut out for you, Chef. Good luck and good eating.
Hey, this is Ming Tsai. It's the COVID-19 challenge, how I can make a delicious anti-inflammatory dish that emulate that I actually have arthritis. So how do we do that? Well, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to handicap, so to speak, myself with this. This is a immune-enhancing anti-inflammatory dish. It's pan-seared salmon. I had 4 pieces of salmon. I pulled them out of the freezer and let them slack with braised greens. Dark greens are fantastic for anti-inflammation. Beans, great protein, also anti-inflammatory, and a pepita puree, which is a pumpkin seed puree. All right, so let's get started. A lot of the most delicious sashimi grade A sushi fish has actually been frozen, not just at 0 degrees, at like minus 50 degrees. Every country in the world actually freezes their fish to kill all the bacteria. So I'm not against it all. Of course, if you catch a fresh striper or a fresh trout and whatnot, there's nothing better. So it is challenging, I'm not gonna lie, to not have to use my fingers. But again, if I can just use the back of my hand, this just help me hold things, it's okay. This is pretty good. Okay, like that. So to the best you can, I guess you just, I guess I can hold it this way, and I'll try to turn it. There we go. These beans out well. All right, just like that. All right, so that's 140, 138. That's looking good. That's medium for me. Awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and get those sweating. You can already smell it, right? So now you're in. So again, you can flip it like this. That's the salt. All right. And we'll take this and we'll just give it a buzz. All right. Wow, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, like that. All right. Again, this is dinner for 4. You can just do 2 pieces of salmon if you want. A little bit of lemon zest like that. Oh, look at that. How does that look, guys? You know what? Thumbs up. This is an easy dish. It's good for you, and you can do it with any fish you have. Fresh or frozen, it will work. The key is the bean ragu with the greens and make a little flavor from the pesto. I hope you make it, I hope you enjoy it, and as always, peace and good eating.
I think we're all hungry right now, and I'm joined by the man who just whipped up that unbelievable dish. He met the challenges, Chef Ming Tsai. Chef, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Matt. Great to be here.
So let me ask you this. First of all, was that an oven mitt or was that a ski glove?
That was a ski mitten. I actually don't use oven mitts, if you can imagine, right? So no, we use kitchen towels. We don't use oven mitts. Yeah, you'd be laughed out of a kitchen if you came in with an oven mitt, especially one that had a picture of, I don't know, your grandma or something, right? No.
Oh, you saw my oven mitt. So let me ask you though, Chef. You make a living with your hands. What was it like not being able to use that hand?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I took out my good hand, right? My right hand. It was challenging as hell, honestly. I mean, especially opening a can of beans, I couldn't imagine. I mean, just the act of opening a jar of pickles and all that would be really not an easy task. And I can feel how much of a challenge that would be. And can you imagine if both your hands were get cramped up like that? It's debilitating for sure.
It is. And that's 54 million Americans living with arthritis. So many of us have impacts in the hands, and we see how. And just as you said, these little daily tasks that people take for granted can be not only hard, impossible. I really appreciate you doing that. So here's the other thing that I loved, your passion for cooking. I've followed you on Twitter for years. You're an awesome follow on there when talking about it. So what I love is I think your passion about this meal really came through. And what's it been like for you seeing this pandemic? I mean, I've taken up cooking. Are you seeing that? Are a lot of people reaching out to you, sharing this?
Honestly, it's one of the only things you can do that is constructive, that brings the whole family together. One of the only positives of the whole COVID-19 is actually being together as a family, eating meals together, right? But we're 5 weeks in. It's still pretty good. Talk to me in 5 more weeks, right? Okay. Yeah, so it's it's all good. But thank God, my kids are 20 and 17. They're pretty self-sufficient. I had a 2 and 4-year-old home. That's a whole different ball of wax. I mean, I couldn't imagine. But I love to cook regardless, right? So we're just cooking so much more. And I have to admit, braising is their favorite pastime because you have all day to cook. So since I kind of stretch it out, I like the house, the smell of it. And my sons are like, okay, is that the stew of the stew of the stew? Or is that just or is that a new stew? And I'm like, what do you mean completely new? And it's always.
Well, we lost his audio here. I'm sorry. Can you hear me, Chef? We lost the audio briefly. So sometimes we have technical difficulties. Chef, I don't think we're hearing you right now, or at least I'm not. So this happens sometimes. We have technical difficulties, and I'm so disappointed because there's so many culinary questions I want to ask Chef Ming Tsai. We're going to try to troubleshoot that. We're going to try to get his audio working, and we'll bring him back. In the meantime, as we talked about, as he was highlighting, there are so many people impacted by arthritis. We have another firsthand account of why tonight is so important. Let's take a look at that.
Hi, my name is Lily, and I have juvenile idiopathic arthritis. I was diagnosed at 4 years old, and by the time I was 10, the inflammation spread into all my joints, and even into my eyes. Psst, that's called uveitis. 4th grade, I was starting my first biologic drug, and by 5th grade, I was going to the hospital once a month for infusions. Infusions were scary. My veins are tiny, and the nurses would take 3 to 4 pokes to start my IV each time we went. I developed so much anxiety to needles and meds. I now go to OSMS, where I can receive my infusions right in the clinic. They only take about an hour, and they are pros at starting my IV. When I was in 2nd grade, we started attending the Jingle Bell Run. We dressed up silly and walked to raise money to help find a cure. It is one of my favorite days all year. A couple years ago, we started the Leaping Lily Pads team and began walking at the Walk to Cure Arthritis. This walk is focused on awareness and finding a cure as well. It's a free to join team, so come join me. I'm one of the 300,000 kids fighting this disease in the US. Unlike old people arthritis, my disease is autoimmune. I will never outgrow it. I have it for life. Right now, I take 2 medications every day for pain. 1 chemo drug that is used for arthritis once a week, and I go for an infusion every 8 weeks. Each year, the Arthritis Foundation holds a camp for kids diagnosed with arthritis in Wisconsin. Funding from events like this help offset the cost of camp for families. I've made lifelong friends at this camp, friends who understand what I'm going through at all times. Our family also attends a national JA conference where we learn about new advances in medicine, and I learn about ways to cope and thrive with this disease. Through my entire journey, the Arthritis Foundation has been there to help and support me. Thank you, everyone, for also deciding to support our cause.
Lily is such a stud. I just want to give you an update. We're still working on the audio with Chef Ming Tsai. We definitely want to get him back in here. We'll keep working on that. I want to give some shout outs. People are responding. Leah Delaney, Lily is a warrior, sort of my hero. Deb Constantine, shout out to Lily. Dawn, Paul, everybody throwing out a lot of love. Just a reminder, if you can donate, we'd certainly appreciate it. And a reminder, there's some great incentives. $2,000, you get 2 sweet tickets, 2 pregame field passes to a New England football game. You get CBD medic ointments. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to roll on. We have another guest. We have so many guests who are joining us. I'm so excited. And just the donations have been awesome. We had Elizabeth Smith give a $500 donation. I believe she gets a jersey for that. If you don't want to wear it, you could send it to don't send it to me. How do I even say that? Elizabeth Smith said, thank you. 3 of her kids have arthritis. Another has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. We need a cure. Yes, we do need a cure. And that's the word we use, the C word. Sometimes we don't like to speak it, but I love talking about a cure. Rheumatoid arthritis doesn't have a cure, and we're working on it. And the way we do that is research. And the Arthritis Foundation is funding some cutting-edge research. So if you can donate, please be generous. But if not, share your stories. And thank you to everyone who's being a part, who's sharing in this community tonight. We're all here together. We're surviving and thriving. But right now, we've got the relationship challenge. We're going to go to that. It's Rob and Camille, and they're competitive. Let's see how this plays out. And now it's time to take 2 competition beasts and put them together. The reality is we are all cooped up. There's nowhere to escape. You're learning a lot about the people you're living with. Relationships are under pressure. Some are thriving. Others are facing challenges. But right now, it's time to find out if our favorite couple here tonight, Rob Gronkowski and Camille Caustic, how well they know each other. It is our Survive and Thrive Relationship Challenge. Welcome to our competitors, Rob and Camille.
Hey!
We will say you're in separate rooms. We hope that's just for the game, not a sign of any strained tensions between you two as this night goes on.
This is just for the game. We spent a lot of time together in the same room.
All right, so here's how it works, Camille and Rob. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'll start off with you, Camille, ask you questions about Rob. You will write down your answers. We'll then see how well you know Rob. Then we'll flip the script. Rob, we're going to ask you some questions about Camille, and I can see she already has a pen out. Bro, you better not get these wrong, Rob. All of America will be watching. Now,
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go.
You're ready, Rob.
I've been studying her the last 3 weeks, man. I got her down to a T.
We know he's been watching game films, Camille. So right now what we're going to do, Rob, We're going to take you out of the room. We're not going to allow you to hear or see Camille's answers. We'll bring you back in to find out how well she knows you. All right. So we're going to say goodbye to Rob right now. Camille, my focus turns to you. How well do you know that lovable lug that you are living with? We're going to start off with 3 questions about Rob. I want you to write them down. You can tell us about these answers, give us some insight, but the key is to match what Rob will say is the answer. Okay?
Okay.
So here we go. Your first question. What is Rob's biggest fear?
Oh man. So I have to write it down?
You have to write it down. You can take me through it though.
Biggest fear.
He's retired from football. He's been hit by large men, had bones broken.
That's the thing. He's dealt with so much. It's hard. Okay. I know one of them. I don't know if it's his biggest, but whenever there's a spider, he always wants me to kill it. So I really think that it's going to be.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. The question is, will he admit to that? Spiders. Okay, there's your first answer. I'm a little creeped out. I don't like spiders. Okay, here's your second question about Rob. If there were a fire consuming this house and you were safe, what would be the next thing that Rob would grab in the house?
Okay, well, right now he would say his 24/7 WWE belt, but if he's going to so if he's like in smartass mode, he's going to say that. But
okay, this is where it's a challenge because you know he's always in smartass mode. But
I think the next thing that he would grab would be, I'm going to say his Super Bowl rings.
yeah, okay, the championship rings. Okay, okay, that's a good one. Okay, both of those. Awesome guesses. The rings and the belts. He can only answer one, and you've gone with, let's hold it up. You went with?
Super Bowl rings for number 2.
Super Bowl rings. Okay. Actually, can you write them on separate sheets so we just
no problem.
Okay.
SB rings.
Does he let you wear those? There we go.
He actually keeps them away a lot, and he should have them out more. I'm going to read spiders again.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
But I have worn them, but then he hides them.
Yeah, we'll see. He's probably got another ring ready for you. Here we go. Your final question. Other than you, who is Rob's celebrity crush? And don't answer me. We don't want it to be awkward. But be honest. Who's his celebrity
we had
crush?
This conversation before. Oh, I know who it is.
Oh, you know who it is?
It's young Pamela Anderson.
Yeah. Goodness, we had to add that adjective.
No, I have to say that because the reason I say that is because that's who his celebrity crush was growing up. Like,
yes,
Pamela Anderson, Baywatch days, and I mean, I don't think he's crushing over her these days, so that's why I say that. She's still thriving. She is still thriving. Boss ass babe, but
yes,
I just know it's.
Okay.
I just know it's.
So your answers have been spiders, Super Bowl rings, and young Pamela. I love the young Pamela Anderson. All right, Camille, it's time to find out how well you know Rob. We're going to bring old number 87 back in to see this woman who's been living with him not only during quarantine, but for how long have you guys been together?
We've been together for, I don't know, almost 7 years.
Almost 7 years. A lot of time to get to know each other. And we're going to find out how well you know Rob when he comes back in here. I think those were 3 great answers. The question is, will Rob agree? Rob, it's time to find out how well Camille knows you. So here's how it goes. She just answered 3 questions about you, Rob. She's written those answers down. I'm now going to ask you these same 3 questions and see if your answer matches Camille's. So we'll start out, Rob. You are a stud. You are a tough individual. But
thank you.
If you had to say one thing, what would be your biggest fear?
Whoa.
He doesn't even know.
He just went Keanu Reeves on us.
You just asked Camille.
So you have to answer. This is what she said about you. What do you think Camille said your biggest fear is, Rob?
Wow. Oh. Wow.
Keep in mind, you've been together for 7 years. What is it?
Snakes.
He went with snakes, just like Indiana Jones. Camille, hold up your answer. Spiders. She said spiders.
I was thinking that too.
So close. That was very close, but no points there.
Close, but just no cigar.
No cigar. All right, Rob. We'll see if you can get a match here. Now, if there were a massive fire in your house, Camille was already out. She was safe. Dog, any pets, anything's out, safe.
Camille would have been the first anything I would have saved. So
did you hear that, Camille? He's making sure you heard that. Rob, that is a correct answer. But other than Camille, other than pets, what would be the one thing, the first thing you would grab from your house in the event of a fire? What would you save, Rob?
Wow. Tough question.
I feel like we're blowing his mind.
I don't even think he knows.
Camille, this is it. This is what you're forcing him to think.
Knows me is that she knows I don't even know.
Well, Rob, I'm gonna do a game here with you right now.
Yes.
Picture this house on fire. What's the first thing? Just right now, what would you get up? Where would you go? What would you grab? One thing you'd want to save. What would it be?
Oh, I guess my phone so I can make calls.
His phone. Above
that would be in your pocket already. So
Camille, he said his phone. Camille, what did you go with?
Your Super Bowl rings.
Oh yeah.
I said right now you'd probably say your WWE belt if you were like being like a smart aleck. Would be like, I would grab my 24/7 belt, and then but those rings are irreplaceable.
Yes, there is. I was gonna say my safe, but then I didn't want to brag about what was in it when the 3 Super Bowl
rings are in it.
My chain, my sweet chain. So I didn't say it because I was being humble, baby, but you did get it right.
But
okay, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to give you half a point for that creative answer.
I'm not lying. I didn't want to brag, so I was like,
Okay, you've got half a point. Here's your third question, Rob. You see how challenging these are. You see you have to plumb the depths of your mind and meld and come into Camille's mind to figure out what she's going to answer. So here it is, Rob. Your final question. Who, other than Camille and other than me, who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, she knows.
Yeah.
Gotta say it.
Growing up, it was Pamela Anderson.
Camille? Young Pamela Anderson. We have our first full match.
Wow.
Camille, I think you penetrated Rob's mind. You got one, and we gave you a half. 1.5 points right there. So you see how it's done. But now, guys, we're going to flip the script. Rob, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to ask you questions about Camille. Camille, we will take you out of the room to keep things honest. And you see, you're going to be dealing with Rob answering these. So think about that when you come back to answer them. All right. We're going to say goodbye to Camille for a moment. 1.5 points. We saw
baby.
Rob.
Hi.
I miss you.
So Rob, you see how the game is played. I'm going to ask you 3 questions about Camille. I want you to write your answers down. You see how this game plays.
I see how it works now.
Yeah. You know how it works. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready, big guy? Okay. Here's your first question about that love, that woman, that gorgeous babe who's always by your side. What is Camille's proudest moment?
Oh, wow. I would definitely say that it's a dance moment. So I would go with making the New England Patriots cheerleading team.
Making the New England Patriots cheerleading team. Okay, that's a good, specific answer.
The dance team, that is, because she loves dancing.
Okay.
They just dance.
I stand corrected. All they do is dance. Okay. Your next question. If Camille were describing you, Rob, what 3 words would she use?
Oh, wow.
Now remember, families are watching, so let's keep it PG-13 here, Rob, if you're choosing words.
It's like enthusiastic.
Okay.
I'll go with lovable.
Aw.
Yeah, I am. And I would say, I got it. Caring.
Enthusiastic, lovable, and caring. I like that.
Me too.
I know. Who wouldn't want to date you? All right. Here's your final question. To match what Camille's going to say about you. The final question is, what is Camille's best quality?
Oh, Camille's best quality.
What do you think she's going to say is her best quality? Knowing that you're going to answer, what is her best quality? What did you go with?
I would go with the passion for caring for others.
Oh, I'm falling in love with both you guys. I want you guys to be my friends, Rob. You guys are the best. All right.
Always caring for others. Big
so
time.
we've got your 3 answers.
Passion with it though, too.
Passionate caring.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's time, Rob, to find out how well you know Camille. We're going to bring Camille back in. We're going to let her answer those questions and see if your answers match up. I liked it. Rob, I felt like you went deep there. Camille.
Thank you.
You are back. Now it's time for you to play. So we asked Rob questions about you. Now it's your chance to answer and see if those answers match. You ready?
Yes. Okay,
here's the first question we asked Rob. What is Camille's proudest moment?
Finally getting into the SI swimsuit issue, but on the cover this time.
On the cover this time, Rob answered.
Oh, dang it. Oh, I missed that one. That is a proud moment. Very proud, but I thought it was going to be dance related because you love dance so much and you've been doing it your whole life.
That is one of my greatest accomplishments. That was one I really, really, really worked hard for.
So that was number 2. That was so close. She goes with making the cover of the SI swimsuit. A very good cover indeed, but he answered incorrectly, so no points are awarded. But both good answers.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's okay though. I'll take it though.
Look at this guy's positivity. All right, Camille. We asked this to Rob.
Okay.
We asked Camille, what 3 words would you use to describe yourself? I'm sorry, to describe Rob. Sorry.
Oh, to describe
Ask
Rob.
that again. What 3 words would you use to describe Rob?
Okay. Energetic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Athletic. Confident and happy boy.
Happy boy. Rob, what did you put up?
Oh, well, she got 1. She got enthusiastic.
Yep.
Energetic, enthusiastic.
Okay.
You got that one.
And then she definitely missed this one. I don't know how.
Handsome.
Lovable.
Oh,
He describes himself as lovable.
Yes. I thought, and I gave Camille, like, since, her legs were hurting and I massaged her legs for about 6 hours, like professionally massaging them.
oh, that was loving.
Yeah.
But he said, what was the final one, Rob?
And caring.
Caring. Mine were all like very like upbeat. I'm thinking of like
You were in the ballpark. I'll tell you what, we'll give you half a point there. Now to the final question. You got 1.5 points, Camille. Now we'll see if Rob can do it.
All right.
It's tied. Here we go. This is Rob talking about you. We asked Rob.
Oh.
We asked him, what's your best quality? What do you think? Rob answered.
What would I say that how Rob would describe my best quality?
Yeah. He said, what's your best quality? We asked him, what's your best quality?
That I am extremely loving.
Rob?
I think this fits. Yeah. A passion for
caring for others. That is loving. That's 1.5 points for each of you. You guys are tied, which means we're going to round 3 to see how well you know each other. Now, both of you will be playing in this one. So I'm going to ask you questions that could apply to either Rob or to Camille. You will both answer whether you think the answer applies more to Rob or whether it applies more to Camille. So if it's you, you guys write me. If you think it's the other person, for Rob, you'd write she, meaning Camille. Camille, if you think it's Rob, you'd write he. So your answer is either going to be me or he or she.
Okay.
All right. These are rapid fire, guys.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Round 3. Both have 1.5 points. Here we go. Who takes the longest to get ready? And we'll count. When you both have your answers, tell me, we'll hold it up. Wait, put it down, Rob. Don't let her see it yet.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, ready? Hold them up. 1, 2, 3.
Me.
You say you. Rob, what did you say? Camille. Okay, that is a match. Here we go. We got a match there. Okay,
Really?
next one. Who's more likely to deal with a spider or a snake if it came into the house? We'd asked this before we knew we came up with this question. Camille, you have your answer. Rob, you have yours. Hold it up.
Me.
Me? Camille, that is another match right there. Okay. Now, here is a very challenging question. We're going to get to know how well you love each other, how well you love yourselves. Who's the more attractive between you two?
Oh, God. I already know. Okay.
How's he going to answer?
All right.
How are you going to answer? We want matches. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Rob, hold it up. Rob.
Really? I thought you were
No match. No match. Final question. It all comes down to this. Here's the question. Rob and Camille, speak from your heart. We need a quick answer. Who gets the last word?
Me.
Oh, they both said me.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like it's me, and then you just don't say anything.
Well, listen, I don't know who won this game. I do know this. We won because we got to see you guys going at it head to head. A fantastically played game. We had some awesome matches. The misses were very funny. Rob and Camille, I can't thank you enough for taking a relationship challenge. We'll figure out who gets the last word. You guys are going to have to tell us once you go off air who gets the last word.
Yes, we'll figure it out somehow. We'll have a competition or something, and whoever wins that, and then we'll talk about it on air.
I love it. I got to say the one thing watching you two, I love the way you guys interact with each other. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you guys a little bit better. That's what tonight is all about. We're thriving and surviving. We're doing this together no matter how far apart we are. Rob and Camille did an awesome job on our relationship challenge. Now it's a chance for you guys to make a difference. Remember, your donations really are your time counts. Money helps so much more. If you're in a position where you can give, do it. It makes such a difference for those who are in need. Right now, we have an awesome video about the Arthritis Foundation. We want to remind you just what this foundation does for the more than 54 million Americans living with arthritis. Take a look.
Nobody, surprisingly.
No one that comes to mind.
I personally don't know anyone with arthritis. I got like a little bit going on in my pinky, but that's about it.
Nobody, I think. I think my grandma had it before she passed away.
No, I don't really know anybody that has arthritis. Nobody in my family.
I don't think I know anybody with arthritis, but people might have that, I just don't know.
So our Survive and Thrive Challenge is rolling on. It is time for the third and final part of our Quarantine Combine Showdown. And just to recap, Brian Urlacher has been dominant, taking first place in our first two events. Legarrette Blount has taken second place in those events. And Rob Gronkowski has been participating with a smile on his face. But here we go, boys. Now, right now, I want to test the things that I think make a great football player: strength and balance. Now, we can't have you guys tackling each other. Can't have you guys doing bench, any of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to test your stillness, your calmness, and your precision by challenging you three studs to yoga. So let's take a look at the poses we're going to challenge you with. Okay.
That boy, the Karate Kid.
Here we go, boys. It's time to do the flag. Let's see it. Right foot down, left knee up to position one and hold. Oh, pretty good out of all three. Close your eyes, arms up to the sky. Nice. Hold that. Hold that. Oh, Brian Toppler, Rob Toppler, Legarrette locked in like a rock. Now, here's where it gets tough. See if you can grab your left big toe and straighten that left leg.
That's all I got.
That's good.
Well, I got to say, well, there's a clear victor in this one. Legarrette, I don't think your foot came down at all during that. You got the first point on the flag. Very good. Brian, you toppled just before Rob. Rob, you didn't finish last in this one.
Hey,
Congratulations, Rob.
that's that stumble bomb, Gronk.
Well, this is what we need to happen. Legarrette, though, he is chomping now. He's coming in. He was in second place, but just got this first one. So now let's take a look at the next pose you guys will be doing. So here we go. Weight on the left leg, right ankle above the left knee. Brian, very good. Legarrette, your flexibility is insane.
Here we go.
Rob's got it too. Okay, now hands up to the sky, hands together, and bring them to heart center, keeping your balance. All very good. And now lean down and lower.
Ooh.
Brian Urlacher getting low. Legarrette as well. And Rob down. Legarrette tumbles. Had the best form. Rob, Brian still holding.
Fall over, Rob.
Come on,
Hey,
Brian,
man,
fall.
Get out of here, Rob.
It's still going. Rob is bouncing. Brian, do you have an invisible chair behind you? And Rob is down. Brian gets first in this one. Urlacher, the competitive beast. Legarrette, I once again got to compliment you. You did topple early, but your form was perfection.
I was just trying to do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get it all right, step by step. You feel me?
You know, I think what
I
it is,
ain't been in no corners.
that's called doing your job. Brian, though, takes first in this one. So Legarrette's 1-1. Brian's 1-1. Rob has done a good job being second in both. And here we go.
Good job, Rob.
Thank you. Good job, Bronk.
I love the smack talk that's going on. All right, boys.
Thank you, guys.
Here
Thank
it is. Your third yoga pose. Let's take a look.
I'm going to get this one right here.
But let's see it, boys. All right, here we go.
I'm ready.
Weight on the left leg. Bring that right heel up to your caboose and reach inside the foot and grab.
No, you can't hold on to the bed.
What bed?
Okay, and if you got it, then bring that leg up to 90 degrees, and you can start to lean over. Legarrette looking locked in. Brian is bouncing. He's crumbling.
Stay out the wall, Legarrette.
And we're at holding it. Legarrette is getting unbelievable flexibility.
See me? Oh.
Bouncing. Brian is down. Rob and Legarrette holding it out. Gronkowski, tremendous flexibility. Blount, bending but not breaking.
Man, do the right pose, bro.
Still holding. Legarrette able to criticize Rob. And Rob is down. Legarrette takes it in this final event. We are tabulating. We're tabulating the scores here. And as the judges are communicating, it looks like it is unbelievable. Because Brian came in third in that one, Legarrette took first. It ends up being a tie for first place. Brian, Urlacher, Legarrette, Blount, you guys have tied in our quarantine challenge. We have co-champions.
Let's go. Even though I'm supposed to be hands down number one, that I'll be back quote was messed up.
My first championship's a tie.
Your first championship is a tie. We got some people. Listen, PricewaterhouseCoopers is analyzing our scoring as we speak. But boys, I just can't thank you enough for being a part of this. And Rob, we know you could have done a lot better, but that's the kind of guy he is. He said he wanted you guys to feel good about this competition, so
Thanks,
he was
Rob.
going to let you guys do well.
Good luck, Gronk.
No problem, guys. No problem.
Brian, Legarrette, thank you guys so much for making the time to be a part of our quarantine challenge. And I want to give you guys just a chance here. I know a lot of people are listening to you guys. I know a lot of people look up to you guys. Any last words you guys want to say out there to all these people watching us tonight?
Just stay safe, man. Stay inside. Follow the rules. Hopefully this all be over soon, and just keep doing what they tell us to do.
What you said, man, everybody just stay safe. Stay inside, man. Do everything you can do to have fun and occupy your time inside, and just, pray that this thing is over soon.
Absolutely. Boys, well said. And once again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for supporting the Arthritis Foundation, supporting us in this Survive and Thrive Quarantine Challenge. And if we need another reminder of the awesome work and why we're here with the Arthritis Foundation, let's take a look at this.
In these times of COVID-19, I think one of the biggest challenges we have as a parent of a child with juvenile arthritis is access to medical care. Would we really be able to go and get to our doctor if we had to? And if we had to bring our daughter to the emergency room or urgent care, what would that be like? And then I guess the biggest concern is, given that she's immunocompromised, what would happen if she were to contract the virus? Would her body be able to fight it? Would she be able to make it through? Being a parent of a child with juvenile arthritis is tough enough, but now in the times of COVID-19, I think that anxiety level is just so much more significant.
Just heart-wrenching to hear from those parents worrying about their kids, particularly now. That's why we're doing this. So we appreciate all the donations. I just wanted to give a shout out to a couple. We had little Tommy Eisman from Denver. That's my brother. He donated. Thanks, bro. And Chachi Friedewald out of Chicago has been checking in, supporting. And Sydney McConnell was on there saying her celebrity crush, this guy. But we're thrilled. We've been having some awesome guests all night. And this next one, I'm very excited to talk to her. It's actress Kelly Rutherford. Kelly, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so appreciative of you being here. So let me ask you, so where are you right now?
I'm in Los Angeles.
And you're quarantining here in the City of Angels. It's lovely.
Thankfully.
So how have you been doing? How are you surviving and thriving?
Yes, I normally live in New York, and I came out here to do pilot season for the first time in like 10 years, and I would have never anticipated this. But I'm very thankful because, you know, LA, at least you can drive around, and I have 2 dogs, so I can get out and at least walk the dogs a bit and be in nature. So very thankful.
Well, I think it is. It's about maintaining, so it's surviving and thriving. And sometimes it's about not going crazy. This is an unbelievably stressful time. Routine is a thing of the past, and where there are a lot of fears going on, a lot of negative feelings, uncertainty, and anxiety. So for you, how are you calming your anxiety? How are you staying positive?
Well, I think so much of what creates anxiety is sort of resisting what is, right? So it's resisting the situation that you find yourself in. So when I feel that way and I start to resist the fact that we're all dealing with this in the future and what that's going to look like and how this is all going to play out, I really do my best to shift my focus from sort of what is, not that I'm denying what is, but I'm sort of in the moment making peace with what is. And focusing on, you know, what if there are good things that come out of this? What if this is an opportunity for us to be with our families more, to heal, to look at things differently, to restructure the way that we've done things. And I think it's with anything in our life, it's helpful to do that. It doesn't mean you're ignoring the weight of the situation or what's going on, but just to relieve the sort of anxiety and the fear, I find it super helpful to write about the things that I love, think about the things that I love, reach out to the people that I love, and sort of stay in a sort of more positive, uplifting space, because that's the only way you can really help others too. If you are healthy and you can help others that way.
That's well said. Take care of yourself before you can help others. Yeah. But I really like that sentiment where you said, when you talked about focusing on the positive, and it's not denying, it's not ignoring it. It is that kind of focus. I love that. You really said it beautifully about kind of the mindset here. Listen, we're in this career. You've had an unbelievably successful career. You've been on Gossip Girl, Melrose Place, so many shows. But this, as you said, you're out here for pilot season. Acting is an uncertain enough career. Is for people who don't know, we're only as good as our last gig. So what do you feel like the state of this industry? How are you handling this? What do you think is going to happen with entertainment?
Well, I think actors are, and everyone in our industry is quite resilient. You'd have to be in order to do it.
A business of no.
We're a little bit more prepared than most for crazy stuff like this. You just sort of, you learn to go with it and trust and know you'll end up where you're supposed to be a lot of the time. But I think animation and voiceovers and all of that are sort of continuing to go on because you can do it this way, right? So I think everyone else is self-taping and figuring out how, when we can go back to work, so I
you
like
get a
everybody.
gig, but no one's producing anything
We're
right now.
all, exactly. I think we're all in the same position. So, and so that's comforting in some ways, is to know that we're all trying to figure it out and we'll move forward as soon as we can,
So we've been talking about, this is all about challenges.
Yes.
Are you up for a challenge?
Okay. What is it?
Well, you've seen, we've been playing some games here as we've talked about. You're a very talented actress. I would love to do, and listen, I took a couple years of acting class, so I think I know what I'm doing. So I want to give you an acting challenge if you're up for it, Kelly.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the director, and we're doing a scene. I'm going to give you what's going on in that scene, and then I'm going to call action, and I want you to bring that scene to life.
Okay.
You up for this?
Okay. I'll give it.
Okay, here we go. All right, putting my director's cap on. Okay. All right, Kelly, you're working in a very serious situation, perhaps a hospital, and you've been working so hard, and all of a sudden you realize your hand is touching your face, and it's been hours since you've washed that hand. And action. Scene. There it is. Oh no, there she's going.
I don't know.
Are you kidding? I love it.
This
Listen,
is exactly like self-taping. You're acting with yourself.
Here's what I knew is, like, I'm in reality. I do more hosting, but I did do some acting, and I will tell you, you get placed in some ridiculous scenarios in there. I've got another. Would you be up for one more?
Are you serious? Another one? Okay.
One more. Now, this one, you're so. Pretend we're having a nice talk, but you are trying to disguise a cough that you desperately need to let out because you don't want anyone to think you have the virus.
Oh my God.
And action. I love it. You are such a good sport, Kelly. I don't
know. These are awesome.
Kelly, it is. I love seeing you work, and I can't thank you enough for coming on. You're giving your time here, and I love the vulnerability. I really appreciate it. I love what you've said too. I think you've had a beautiful take on so much of what's going on. There are a lot of people who are watching this. A lot more are going to watch it later. Just a chance. Anything you want to say to people out there, particularly at the Arthritis Foundation, some people who are watching this who are going through it, and anything you want to say. Last words.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this is really like, it's challenging for everyone, and for us as individuals to just do our best to focus our attention on the things that we can, because where our attention goes, energy flows. So the more that we're all in fear, the more that grows, and the more that we can take care of ourselves, and we can be there for others. And I'm sending my love out to everyone. And that's all all I can do is things like this, and send love out to everyone, and do my best to stay positive.
Well,
really.
we really appreciate it. Where can people find you? Are you big on social media? Where?
I'm just Kelly Rutherford on Instagram.
There we go, Kelly Rutherford. Well, Kelly, can't thank you enough, and be well.
Thank you. You
Look
too.
forward to seeing you. Your acting challenges were brilliant. I think she's going to use that in her next role. She's gonna use this thing.
I'm gonna use them. They're gonna come in handy. I know it.
It's like you want to cough, Kelly. Where did this come from? Oh, I don't know. I worked with an acting master. You're a peach. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Listen, this is it. We have people coming on here. Everyone supporting, everyone surviving and thriving. To all of you who are watching, I hope you're feeling the love that everyone has been showing you. And when they don't know how to do it, they've just been going for it. They've been jumping in both feet, and I love it. We've been having a great time here. I want to say we got a great comment here from Kathy Neff, who said, I've literally waited 50 plus years to see and be a part of something like this. Losing the shame and stigma is so liberating. I can't even put it into words. Thanks to each and every person who had the courage to put this out there, and shout out to everyone. Having arthritis sucks, but having a community of support who gets it and has your back is the best medicine ever. Kathy, I couldn't agree more. You said it better than I ever could. Listen, we're getting ready to wrap this up, but before we go, some final messages from Ann Palmer, who's the CEO of the Arthritis Foundation, and Perry Antleman, the CEO of Abacus Health. Abacus Health was the big sponsor, CBD Medic, and the Arthritis Foundation. Ann Palmer, let's hear from them right now.
Hello and good evening. I'm Ann Palmer, President and CEO of the Arthritis Foundation. On behalf of the staff and volunteers across the country, I want to thank the celebrities who bravely participated in tonight's challenges. I wanted to give a big thank you to our good friend, Matt Eisman, and a huge thank you to the Gronk, and appreciate your leadership. I also wanted to say thank you to our supporters who are with us here tonight, and to assure you that your donations will go a long way in supporting the 54 million people in this country with arthritis, who are at more risk now than ever due to the virus. I also wanted to give a huge thank you to CBD Medic. You're a wonderful partner. It's been a great collaboration, great event tonight. To all at home, please stay safe. Thank you and good night.
Wow, what a show. I want to sincerely thank a number of people for helping pull this event together. First and foremost, to our incredible celebrity lineup. Your laughter, enthusiasm, and optimism has showed America exactly how to thrive during this pandemic. To the Arthritis Foundation for the incredible cross-company collaboration over the past 3 weeks. You guys do incredible work on a day-to-day basis, helping those living with arthritis battle their pain. To our CBD Medic staff, I am constantly blown away by the executional ability of our team. Thank you for bringing this initiative to the forefront of our efforts. And finally, to all of our viewers around the world who have been affected by this horrible pandemic, our heart and prayers are with you. Thank you.
Well said, Perry and Ann. Appreciate both of them giving us their words right here. Listen, there are so many thank yous here tonight. For Ann and Perry, just what they did pulling this off. So many people behind the scenes who made this possible. And listen, how awesome were the celebs? Kelly Rutherford, Chef Ming Tsai, who gamely cooked. I wish we could have had him on more. Andrew Fitzsimons, who I think probably sees his muse in me. Harley Pasternak, giving us that sweet kick, giving us some workout tips. Legarrette, Blount, Brian Urlacher. I think Urlacher is still sour that he had to share the title. I love that about him. Camille Caustic. And I just can't thank Rob Gronkowski enough. What a stud to come out here to support this event, to be such a driving force in it. Thrilled he got his news going to Tampa. I'm going to ask him for some tickets. But really appreciate him coming on one of the bigger days in his life, getting this new contract, coming on here and giving time to us. It's us. We are all in this together. I appreciate everyone who kept me company tonight. There have been so many awesome people. Garrett Galubin just made some donations. So many generous people made donations. And here's the great thing. You can keep donating. This link, arthritis.org/thrive, it's going to be active for a while. Hopefully people will watch this. Hopefully more people will be inspired. If you enjoyed it, feel free to share this. We're all building this community together. And I can't thank you enough for spending the night with me. I had a blast. It was a special night. It was a great night. And we raised a ton of money and we had a lot of fun. So together we survived and thrived. And let's continue doing that. I'm Matt Eisman. You can find me everywhere on social media. You can see me cooking. Ninja Warrior will be back. You can listen to Factorious, where I'm telling jokes. There are a lot of ways to find me, but know this: I'll always be a part of the Arthritis Foundation. The Arthritis Foundation helped me and continues to help me, so I will be there for it. So thank you to everybody. I will see you soon. Keep surviving. Keep thriving.